Rightio, we're on. I think.
Good evening.
Good evening indeed. One second. For some unbeknown reason, we're getting a bit of additional feedback. Apologies for that. That has now gone. Hey up, Greg, how are we?
I'm very well, sir. How are you?
Yes, very, very well indeed. So a bit unconventional for us this one tonight. A combination of two shows, Super League Raw Weekly, and of course, for the first time in a while, a little bit of a watch along, mate.
Yeah, not done it for a while, have we? It's,
we haven't.
The fates have conspired against us not to be doing a live game for a while.
Indeed. And tonight, for a
obviously, I'm not.
Go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was going to say, I'm completely neutral tonight, as you can see.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I've actually
not sporting any bias to anyone, as you can plainly see. So yeah, go on, sir. What were you saying?
I've fallen short of that one, but no, good to be on, good to be doing it, and we'll see what comes of it tonight. Big game involving two big teams. Warrington and Wigan, two different lineups. But before, what we'll do, we'll just quickly take a look at the teams. So let's take a look first of all, and obviously we've got to do the predictions as well. So we've got quite a lot to pack into the first 10 minutes of this show tonight. So we'll try and crack on. Let's see if we can do it. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share those, I think, to begin with. Right, mate, Super League Raw is what we should be seeing, which hopefully you can see on your screen, Greg. Yep. Outstanding. That's a good start.
I can, sir, yes.
Right, so these are the fixtures. So we're going to quickly go through them, obviously starting with Warrington and Wigan tonight. Greg, before we look at the teams, where do you see this one going? Warrington, of course, 5 wins on the spin. Wigan, 3 losses on the spin. And yes, 2 teams that we're going to see in a minute. What's your thoughts going into the game?
My thoughts going into the game is it's never a good time to play Wigan, and especially when they're coming off the back of a couple of defeats, which is very, very rare. Warrington are missing Widdett, which is a massive blow.
Yeah.
He's been the form player, I would say, of the last 3 or 4 rounds, if not more.
Yeah.
I know Wigan though have got. If the team I've been given is right, I think we're going to have got a few youngsters in there while we brought a few big guns back.
Yeah, well, let's take a look then. So these are the teams. We may as well take a look whilst we're debating it. So Wigan, Hastings at fullback, the wingers Marshall and Bibby, Isa and Gildart in the centres, Lulawai and Smith with the halfbacks, Havard, Partington at prop, Powell at hooker, Farrell, Pierce, Paul. Second row with Smithies at loose forward, Bullock, Byrne, O'Neill and Shorrocks on the bench. For Warrington, Thewlis at full back, Tom Lyon and Josh Charlie on the wings, Mamo and Wrench in the centres, Stephen Ratchford at scrum half, Blake Austin at standoff, props are Chris Hill, Mike Cooper, Darryl Clark back at number 9, Ben Curry, Jack Hughes in second row, Matt Davis hangs on to loose forward. Great performance last week against Lee. And then Phil Bean Mulhern, Jason Clark back, good for Warrington to have him back, and Danny Walker was very good indeed last week. Again,
yes, he was superb last week.
Very surprised, I have to say. I was expecting to see Curry lining up at centre tonight with Longstaff. I thought he'd have kept hold of his position at second row.
Yeah, and I'm a bit surprised that Aquala's missing as well. After his performance last week, which was a good performance. I'm thinking the Wigan team slightly different to what I saw earlier in the day. So I'm still going to go Warrington by 9-17, I think.
Oh, you're going the same way as the fans, 9-17. I'm going 0-8 to the wire. I think it'll be a bit closer than that. Then we go to Huddersfield. Terrible news coming out of Huddersfield today. The injury list now is just piling up. McIntosh out for the season. Caesar expected to be out for the season. Gaskell also injured. That's on top of Lawrence and the rest. They're in absolutely dire straits. Obviously, 3 defeats on the spin, coming up against a red-hot top of the table Catalan Dragons with 5 in a row. I think we all know where this one's going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to say Catalan 18 plus, mate.
Yeah, and do you know what? We've all gone that. Every one of us has done that, and that's not really a surprise. Then we come to Leeds against Lee. Leeds, a couple of wins on the spin. Then, of course, you can see there Lee, of course, yet still to get a win. Do we think Lee will break the duck in this one, Greg, or is it Lee?
No, unfortunately, no. I've been trying to, give them some positive spin over the last few weeks, and I'm thinking maybe they could just do it this week. But no, the way Leeds played against Salford, albeit that there was a few red cards and a few yellow cards in that game. I think again Rhinos by 18 plus. I think Lee are doomed. I don't think they can buy a win. To be honest, I'd like them to prove me wrong, just for the sake of the fans, but I can't see it.
Well, we've all gone Leeds. Me and you 18 plus, and Lee Jenks, Wakefield Trinity fan, 9-17 to Leeds. He's gone. That must have been
Good evening, Lee.
Indeed. St Helens Wigan Warriors. Good game. Obviously, we've quite a few between now and when we come back next Wednesday. So St Helens Wigan, big game at the Totally Wicked. Obviously, Wigan. We're going to see Wigan tonight. But what's your thoughts on that one?
I'm sorry to Warriors fans, but I can only see one winner in this, and that's St Helens. The week off might not do them any favours with the game against Castleford, being called off. Because the Salford game's been called off for two next two Salford games have been called off, haven't they? But no, I think Saints. I think it'll be close. I think 9-17 Saints.
Oh, we're matching a lot here this week, Greg. We're
That's
matching a lot this week, my friend. Yeah, 9-17 as well. The fans 0-8, also Saints. Then Warrington go up against Leeds next week, and that's on Sky as well.
I think it is. Yeah,
I think it is. Warrington Leeds at the Halliwell Jones. Thoughts on that one?
Leeds are kind of finding a bit of form, but I'm going to go with Warrington. I'm going to go 9-17 again, Warrington.
Right. Okay. 9-17. Again, me and you are equal on that one. Wakefield actually probably showing their allegiance a little bit with this one. They're going 18 plus to the wire. So that's from them. And then finally, again, Wakefield, if obviously two tough games. Of course, Castleford will be well rested with their game being postponed this side of the weekend. Huddersfield, they'll just be praying to come through that Catalan game with no additional injuries. But, Castleford not really playing well at the moment in the league. Maybe one eye on the Challenge Cup. I think Gary Schofield in his column was saying maybe, the players just obviously want to be involved in that Challenge Cup game. That can happen. Yeah. We know that as Warrington supporters. So, we do. I'd expect Castleford to be too strong here.
It depends what team Castleford have got, because there's a good chance that this could be called off again if there's been no recovery. Yeah. I'm going to go Castleford. I'm going to go 0-8 simply because I think Castleford are struggling body-wise, but Huddersfield, I think theirs is more injury-related than COVID-related. So I'm going Cas by 0-7, 0-8.
Yeah, well, the fans have gone the same. I'm going Cas 9-17 just for a bit of sport on that one. Obviously, the news that Castleford couldn't put a team out against St Helens means that St Helens, of course, got a little bit of a bonus. Saints fans,
Yeah.
as you can see there, St Helens a 24-0 victory, which now takes them to 80%, just off Catalan. Of course, it had changed the Castleford win percentage to less than Leeds Rhinos, but of course Castleford have won 5 to Leeds' 4. So not doing Castleford any real favours at all. The only real changes last week in the league table was Warrington leapfrogging Wigan, the game we're watching tonight. And of course, Wakefield Trinity, who was my team of the week. We always do team of the week on Super League Raw Weekly. My team of the week last week, Chris Chester's Wakefield Trinity, a brilliant win against the Wigan Warriors. Well done to Wakefield. And of course,
sorry, Dave, I've gone the same. I've gone Wakefield as my team of the week.
Yeah, really good performance. Who was your try of the week last week?
Oh, my try of the week. There were 3. There were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It was Liam Farrell's for England.
Yeah.
Escaray's for Salford. Hampshire for Wakefield.
Yeah.
And Myler's second try was a good try, but I'm going to go Liam Farrell for England. I thought it was a great, for a second rower, he showed a lot of pace. It was a great try. I enjoyed watching that try.
On the topic of that game, whilst we've got a bit of time, on the topic of that Combined Nations game again, I tipped them. Obviously, I got my when I saw the spine of that team, I just felt it was better. Very disappointed as well tonight. Luke Gale has come out, jumping on the bandwagon of McGilvey, going on about the state of the game. I think that point's been made now. Let's put that to bed.
Yeah, I think Ken Davies kind of refuted that, hasn't he? And then said that the RFL and Super League are going to be working together to make sure that doesn't happen. You know, that was my quote of the week, my comment of the week. Ken Davey coming out and saying, "Listen, stop doing the game down. Let's," because we're all guilty of that. I've been guilty of that on this over the past, several times. Sometimes you just get in that mindset, don't you? Because we love the game, and sometimes we're frustrated at the way it's promoted or decisions are made or events happen. But Ken Davey, fair play to him, just turned around and said, "Stop moaning. Get behind the sport. We're gonna have a talk about these things, and international rugby will flourish." So fair play to him for saying that. And
I can't.
It's good to hear.
I'll tell you as well, in terms of that Combined Nations as well, the more I see of Matauti, the more I think Warrington have got themselves a really good buy there for next year. He's in great form, isn't
he? Me too. Yes, he's one of those players. If you remember, there was a flurry of signings from late at the end of 2017 season or 2018 season. Correct me, I'm sure Castle fans will let me know. And we got the second rower. Who's at Leeds? Leeds now went to Toronto, and I can never remember his name. But Castle got Matautia, and he played at fullback, and he was superb.
Yeah.
So I've always liked him. I've always thought he's a good player. So we do to answer your question. Yes, we look like we've got a player.
Yeah, and I think the England team. I mean, obviously it's going to be a very different team come the World Cup. I mean, based on that second Origin game, I don't hold out much hope for any team against Australia in that World Cup. I think the best thing that could happen is get postponed a year.
Or they don't let them fly out of Australia.
Yeah, something like that. And I'll tell you interesting. Just saw John Bateman on the screen. Now we're going to have to get Wriggle on, but he's come in for some right pelters, John Bateman, hasn't he? In terms of his form, obviously he's going to be out for a bit with his injury, but he's come out with some criticism, hasn't
he? He has. He wasn't. He didn't. I don't think he performed to his best, but the All Stars played well. They closed down our attacking threat quite well throughout the game. So I don't think just John Bateman should come into for some criticism. There are a few performances that didn't live up to the billing, to be honest. Having said that, my highlight of the week before we get into the game wasn't not so much Barry McDermott's was grown a despair when Lynham intercepted that lead pass and went the length of the pitch. It was a Warrington game. It was a Koala's run and hit on poor Tyrone McCarthy. That was spectacular.
Yeah, it was a barnstorm.
I feel sorry for Tyrone McCarthy, but if you're ever in the wrong place at the wrong time, it was Tyrone McCarthy.
No,
so that was my highlight of the week. It's just edged out Mossop's little fracas with Hurrell in the Leeds Salford game, which was a heart back to the good old days of winter rugby.
Personally, I thought the Escaré try was superb.
Yeah, A good try.
Superb.
Good try.
I really liked. It was the other one that I really liked. The little dink behind the back. Oh, which game was that now? Was it the Leeds game? I think it was the Leeds game. There was a little. Oh yeah, Connor. Was it Connor Wynn? Connor Wynn's try.
Yes, yeah, it was. Yeah, the little kick when they went through.
Yeah. I enjoyed that one as well. Thought that was a really good try. But yeah, no, loads of big night for Austin. Blake Austin on the screen as we speak.
Well, he's got to shine tonight. He's actually learned that how to play with Widdow's over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and it's worked well. Yeah. And he's got to step into Widdow's mantle now and lead us around the park with Ratchford giving good support. I'm glad to see Josh Hewlett given a game at full back.
Yeah, he's not anybody down.
Future. As a star for the future, I'd like to see maybe as you say, Longstaff still in the team, but we shall see. We shall see. I don't think we're far from kickoff.
We're not. No, we're taking the knee as we speak. Warrington against Wigan. We'll keep coming in and out of the usual things that we do in terms of Super League Raw Weekly. We'll keep going in and out of that. We've still got the stats to get through. We've still got to talk a little bit more about round 11. But here we go. Warrington, it would appear, are going to be kicking off against Wigan. They're going to be going right to left on our screen live at the DW Stadium. Bill Arthur on commentary on Sky. Who needs that? Who needs that on a Wednesday night? Come on, let's have a bit of sport. Happy days. It's good to see fans back in the DW. Adrian Lamb, what is going on with Lamb? I mean, these rumours that Wayne's coming in at the end of the season.
It can't be good for him, can it? It can't be good. He's done a decent job.
Yeah.
Adrian Lamb. They've not won as many trophies as Wigan expect to win, but he's still done a decent job.
Yeah.
There was no stopping St Helens last year.
No, absolutely.
So
right, here we go. In the words of Stir Crazy's warden, ready, Mr. Wilson, proceed. Here we go. We're off and we are running. Here we go. In we go. Early doors Havard met by Cooper and Davies. Boom, as I always say. Big first hit as the amber nectar goes down Greg's throat. That's what
on a school night as well. It's a disgrace.
On a school night. Well, I'm going to be at half-time. I'm going to be certainly joining you for that one. As Farrell was immense for England. I mean,
he's a great player.
Massive performance for England. He's definitely on in the team, isn't he?
Yeah, consistently probably the best English second rower in Super League. Consistently, season after season. You can't knock him. No. As much as I'm a Warrington fan, you can't knock what he does.
No. Farrell for me has been a fantastic servant for Wigan. Doesn't get the plaudits he deserves. He's one of those that goes under the radar a little bit. Wigan's first set of 6. Warrington defence pretty good, kept them inside their own 40. Warrington now bringing it off their own 10. A really good kick. I think it was Harry Smith that put that kick in there.
Yes, I think it was. Yeah. And what's happened here? We knocked it on.
It looks like it's a
knock on or something.
What pass is it? I don't know. I didn't.
No idea.
Yeah, he said knock on. Let's have a look. Oh, Tom Lyon. Tommy Lyon.
See, that annoys me.
Yeah.
That annoys me. He's obviously been interfered with by the Wigan player and they get the penalty for an incorrect play ball.
And that annoys me. 4 or 5 times tonight and nothing's going to get penalised.
That annoys me because that is a penalty all day to the Warrington on this occasion, but the team with the ball, that is a penalty to them every single time. And that really winds me up, that rule.
Right, Wigan,
really
10 metres out here. Wigan now taking it to the left. Lulawai, over it goes. It's going through hands at the moment. Little turn back inside from Jackson Hastings, but he's going to be wrapped up with about 2 metres from the line for the Wigan Warriors. So Wigan got an early opportunity here as the ball is quickly put out. It's Sam Powell back to Lulawai. This is Pierce Paul. I'm not seeing much of this lad, but he's a big lad. He's a young lad. He's got a good frame on him. He's about 3 metres out now. So Warrington's defense. Oh, this is a chance though. Oh,
that's good tackling. That's great defense. Yeah,
Isa there just kept out. As Wigan now go from right to left. They're going through hands again. It's looking good. Hastings, big ball, big booming ball. They're going to go for the crowd pass. No, Gildart's going to get wrapped up. And it's back inside. Back inside. It comes to Marshall. Marshall now bringing it in. Warrington are in trouble here, but good tackle from Ben Curry.
That was good from Gildart there. Great work from Gildart over there.
And Wigan again, taking it to the left-hand side. The cut-out ball was on. He went for Gildart, and Warrington will survive. So, very well done indeed.
There we go. Good defence, Warrington.
Yeah, very good defence indeed. but no.
No kick coming in. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Warrington's slide defence did well there. Takes him out, did well. Lamb will be disappointed with that.
They obviously think we're weak now. Yeah, we obviously think we're weak down that side. So maybe that's why they've gone for it. They think they've spotted a weakness over that side.
Yeah, we got quite a few people with us on Facebook. By all means, drop us a couple of comments in, get involved with the show. It'd be nice to hear you getting involved. But yeah, I mean, in terms of still nothing for George Williams and Chris Hill here. Well, that's not. I have to say that for me was stripped, and
he knocks it cleanly out of his hands.
Let's have a look at this. What's going on here?
Punches it out of his hands.
Yeah, well, Wigan at the moment have got two good penalties there early on. Warrington in Warrington's strike.
And in any case, it went backwards. So it can't be a knock on.
Here's Paul coming in. But yeah, George Williams still not announced anywhere yet. Quite surprising.
I'm surprised. Gone very quiet on that front. Maybe aren't sure who they're going to shift out to make room for him on the salary cap. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, very quiet. Leeds reckon they're not in the running for it, so we shall have to see.
Yeah, Leeds last week live on Sky pulled out, of course. But Wigan at the moment are in the ascendancy. It's been all in the first 5 minutes. Ball goes to ground. Here's Liam Fowler, the man that we've been giving great raps to already on tonight's show. But Liam Fowler is brought down by Chris Hill, and Wigan at the moment. I'd love to know how many play the balls they've had now. He's probably getting on for at least 16, 17 play the balls. It's all over the place. And I think it's going to be play on. That's a big moment. Stephen Ratchford definitely played at the ball. It bounced up kindly in Warrington. Back in possession.
Not quite sure what went on there. I'm thinking that was I thought we'd have been pulled up for a knock on there, but I'll happily take that. I'll happily take that.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Came up off his foot.
Came back off Hastings as well. So Warrington survive again. So
decision
from where are we? 5 minutes in, Wigan have had some great possession, some good field position, but Warrington at the moment, their defence is performing very, very well. Offside now, Wigan. Warrington get their first penalty.
We've got a penalty.
Yeah, first penalty of the match for a offside. So good news there. Quick another shout out for Featherstone. Featherstone again last week, beating Newcastle 68 points to 12. Certainly giving Toulouse a run for the money in terms of the promotional position.
Yeah. They're Featherstone are a good traditional rugby league side, and it's good to see them doing well. I always love the story about Featherstone fans when they were omitted from Super League. They used to have washing lines from the backs of the houses onto the back of the stadium, and they went along and chopped all the washing lines to symbolise that they'd cut their ties with the community, or agreed to the Super League, or agreed to kind of merge with Castleford and Wakefield. Right, so they went along and chopped all the washing lines down. However true that is, I don't know. It's a great story nonetheless.
Well, I tell you, I've been watching the tries in the Championship, and to be fair to Featherstone, they're playing some good rugby. Warrington in to the right hand side. It comes to Ratchford. He's going to be wrapped up. He needs to take the tackle and does
keep hold of it.
Tackle that. Yeah. Warrington for the first time in the strike zone now. Wigan inside 10 metres as Darrell Clark pumps the ball to Cooper. Cooper back.
Oh, that's clever.
Good little ball. Clark will pop it through. Chance here. It's going to be a try for Warrington. It's a great try. It is wrench. It's a brilliant try.
Brilliant.
Darrell Clark with a God, I can't even get my words out. I'm that excited. Just in behind.
Get on the singing stirrups.
Good Lord, I'm not even on the fruits. What's going on? But Darrell Clark, we do love a good rubber kick on Super League Raw, and Darrell Clark there going right to left.
We do.
5 metres out, good offload from Cooper back to Clark. Clark then little grubber kick in, and to be fair, Wigan will be asked. I mean, this is Hastings' attempt. I mean,
it comes off Mamo.
Yeah, so Warrington got a bit of a break there. But, where's the Wigan defence here? I mean, good. I mean, there you go. Great little offload from Cooper. But then it's Luluai, and it's Isa. I think Isa's completely.
He's watching it. Yeah, he's watching Andy Murray at Wimbledon, Isa.
Yeah, he was definitely watching centre court there. You're quite right. He'll be asking for new balls, please, won't he? Anyway, that's another story. Anyway.
I'm pleased. I don't believe you just said that.
Me.
How do you follow that, kid?
I don't know.
I'm pleased for Conor Wrench because he took a lot of stick in that after that first game. 2 years ago he was at school, and now he's playing in Super League. Delighted for him because he took a lot of stick after the Castleford game was dropped. Not entirely his fault, that Castle game. He was left high and dry by Charlie in that game.
Yeah.
But delighted for him. Delighted for the kid. Let's hope he kicks on from here because he did all right last week as well.
Right. And like I say, I mean, we talked about Connor Wynn, didn't we? Earlier on as well. These kids. I mean, one of the things that I found really interesting about the England Combined Nations was, of course, that other Super League clubs had to bring a few of their academy players through. And to be fair, there was some really good performances last week from the young lads. So, these stories about rugby league and it's dying and all the rest of it. Well, certainly not
bringing youngsters through.
Not in terms of talent. The talent is there. Yeah. It's all about the marketing. It's all about the promotion.
And it's all about every single rugby league team being given an academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the return of reserve grade footy, under 21s, under 18s. Yeah. The whole. When I was a kid playing rugby, believe it or not, I did play rugby as a kid. Not very good, but there was under 15s, under 17s, under 21s. There was academy teams.
Yeah.
There was reserve grade. You've got to bring those back. Got to bring those back.
Well, the amateur clubs are there,
and the game will get healthier. Of course, yeah.
The amateur clubs are there. I mean, right up and down the M62, they're all there. But they need to be signed up. They need to be playing against the best of the best. I mean, obviously, you've got people who represent Northwest counties and things like that. But they need to be getting in the club system, don't
they? They do. A couple of years ago, St Helens signed, I think, one of the entire Rylands teams from Warrington, and that's although it's not Warrington who've done it, that's good to see. An entire team being signed by a Super League team at 15, I think it was, age 15. Yeah. That's good to see. People don't comment on that when they're commenting about the game dying and stuff like that. So,
that's a great tackle. Great tackle from Ratchford on Smithies there. Hastings just coming out of fullback when they're in attack. Wigan just making himself an option in the attacking line as opposed to coming in from deep, which is quite interesting. Playing more of as a halfback when we're
Josh Stewart did very well.
Yeah. So that's it. Mamo now going for one of his
Josh Stewart did very, very well under that ball there. My heart was in my mouth a little bit, but he did very, very well.
Here's Conor Wrench again. I think it's interesting that Pierce. I have to say, Pierce Paul putting his hand up early doors here. He's having a. He's having a go. There's no question about that. Conor Wrench is.
The players on that Wigan bench who I thought might start ahead of him. So fair play to the kid. He's doing absolutely well.
Jack Hughes here. Good run from Hughes. A good 20-metre dash from Jack Hughes.
Good run from Jack Hughes.
Over the 40-metre line of Wigan as Blake Austin now puts up a swirling clip. Ben Curry, Conor Wrench all after it. Bibby has missed that one. Was he taken out? No. Hastings is watching the ball. He's play on. Stephen Ratchford is going under the post. This could be a big decision. He's definitely going to go to the video.
I think he'll go to the screen.
Jackson Hastings in pit? Is he going to try it?
Always give it a try.
Jackson Hastings there. I think Hastings give up on that ball personally.
I think he was impeded.
Well, we're going to have a look.
I think he might be impeded here, mate. I think. I also think you're probably a second ahead of me as well, or I'm a second ahead of you. But
okay,
I'll remember that.
Right. Well,
we're all on side anyway.
You've got an on-field decision try just come up. I'm watching Ben Curry close it down. Bibby here. Is he impeded? Bibby.
Oh yes, he is. No. He's impeded. I think he is.
I'm not sure, mate. I think Bibby there. He's watching the play.
I think they'll say Curry's look.
Curry hasn't played for the ball there.
No, Curry's got his eyes on the play, not the ball. He's impeded, mate.
Yeah, and if you're Jackson Hastings,
try, I'm afraid.
If you're Jackson Hastings, you're very relieved there because I think they're playing it onto Hastings. No, they're going to Hastings there for me, backed out of that. So anyway, good news for Wigan fans. No try. Bibby was impeded is the decision, and Wigan will get the penalty. So Warrington there. 12-0.
It'd be interesting to see the video ref. Is it a certain Mr. Kendall?
Not sure, mate. Not sure, to be honest with you. Yeah, but yeah, all interesting. Did you watch the second State of Origin? Massive win again for New South Wales.
It was. I had a major faux pas with my Virgin box, and I didn't think I'd say that live on TV. Right. A series linked it, so had to be somewhere else on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Series linked it. Got in to watch the game. Hadn't recorded, so I've watched the highlights. But a massive win for New South Wales.
Mate, the second massive one, believe it or not, even though the scoreline wasn't as impressive, I thought the second game, it was a masterclass of rugby league from New South Wales, both in defence and attack. It was just a real masterclass. And like I say, if you pick that 1-17 for Australia, it would absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, on NRL 360, they said that, does any of these Queensland players get in the starting 17 for Australia? And they were saying, on that form, probably not.
No, and Cleary's injured now. Cleary's going to miss the last game.
Well, again, I watched the NRL 360.
The next game, isn't he?
Well, no, it's going to be longer than that. So, watched the NRL 360 this morning. His World Cup could be in doubt now. Yeah. Actually, he's got a choice. He can either go for an operation, or they can try and manage it. If they try and manage it, they say he's not going to play for at least 6 to 8 weeks, or he goes for an operation now. So, that's a big. I mean, if Cleary wasn't in the World Cup, that's a big blow. I mean, Australia is still strong anyway. Yes. I mean, but
would it be Dale Cherry Evans that they'll put in there? Maybe.
I don't think he's pulled up any trees during the State of Origin.
I don't. But there was a discussion earlier this week with Cleary or Cherry Evans for the Aussie jumper. So, mate, obviously the Aussies are seeing something in it that we haven't.
No, mate, I think that was just trying to get some posts on Facebook and the likes. That's not even a contest. Clearly walks it. And to be fair, based on what I've seen of Daly Cherry Evans over the course, I mean, he's playing well for Manly, but what I've seen in Origin, I play Reynolds. I will play.
I'm just making the comment.
Yeah, I play Reynolds before I play Cherry Evans.
Yeah,
I don't think Cherry Evans.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I'm just commenting on what's being said in the Aussie press and asking the question. Cherry Evans is a bit of a controversial character over there. He's a bit Tom Tompkins, isn't he? You either love him or you hate him. His Marmite, Dale Cherry Evans.
Absolutely. No, I agree. No, at the moment, he's not in great form, that's for certain. As Lula White sends it to the left-hand side to Smith. Smith, it's gone to ground, but Gildart picks it up. And Gildart, it's Mamo. Mamo's away. Interception from Jake Mamo. And Jake Mamo is going to go all the way for Warrington. Gildart tried to keep the ball alive. He passed it inside. And Jake Mamo, who is in phenomenal form for the Warrington Wolves this season, has raced the full length of the field. No need for the video referee. That's a huge try for Jake Mamo.
You've got to give this guy another contract, Warrington. I don't even know why they're hesitating. You've got to give Jake Mamo a new contract. If he hasn't, there's rumours he's going to
Huddersfield or Cass are the favourites. As we watch it again, I mean, Gildart, you can sort of see what he's trying to do. I mean, I think there for me, Marshall's gone to sleep. And, I mean, this man at the moment in the form that he's in, absolutely.
He's on fire.
He's playing out of his skin. He's Jake Mamo. And I'll tell you what was interesting, when it got rumoured that Mamo may be on his way to either Huddersfield or Cass and Huddersfield fans have come out and questioned that. I'll be honest with you, if that was to come, this guy at the moment is on fire. He really is.
I'd be upset if we allow him to leave. The form he's in. This guy has moved around the team, filling in anybody. He's not let it get to him. The fact they've not renewed his contract yet, but he's done a job no matter what position he's played this season. And fair play to the guy. He's been on fire. He's scored important tries against Hull away, Catalan away. He scored an important try here. The guy's playing well.
Playing very well.
Any team that gets Jake Mamo next year, if he leaves us, is getting a gem of a player. An absolute gem of a player.
No, I agree.
With Jake Mamo. He's got no loyalty to anybody, has he? He's not. He's an Australian. but he gives 100%. And I'll be sad to see him go if he does leave. I must admit. Yeah. I mean, on that note, Tom Linen's come out this week and said he hasn't got a future at Warrington.
Yeah.
Which again, on his day, Tom Linen is a great player, but he just has.
Yeah.
Say again, sorry.
There's changes afoot at Warrington, without question. But hey, at the end of the day, a little bit of a freshen up. Who knows?
He just has your brain fart, doesn't he?
As Chris Hill comes out, and I just see that Shorrocks has come on. The hair flapping.
Yeah,
in the
I think Smithies has gone off, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, and I mentioned this in the team of the week, which I posted. We'll probably do it at half time. We'll just re-show it at half time. Gives us a chance to charge our glasses, sir. But
indeed, do, sir.
Indeed. But no, I mentioned in the team of the week, Sneed at 6. Sorry, played standoff last week. Sneed in that second half, of course, against Huddersfield last week. Huddersfield brilliant in the first half, 10 up at half time. But Mark Sneed in the second half, colossal. Yeah, colossal for Hull.
Was superb.
Yeah,
superb. He won that second half on his own practically. Yeah. He was superb, Mark Sneed. Absolutely superb. He really was.
Completely agree.
But
completely agree. So a little shout out there to for the Hull contingent. And that's a big, brilliant from Hastings. Josh Chandler fishing there, but he come up with the bait still very much on the line.
Right, here we go. Be careful. Keep the tackles down, Wire. Keep the tackles down.
Warrington looking for a big defensive set of 6 here as Wigan try and bring it out the 10. Gildart going in for tackle 3. They are yet to get out of their own 20 here, Wigan. They're just over the 10 now. Good run there from Dummy Hart, from Jackson Hastings. And,
that is a good one. Playing fullback tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what message he's got on his shorts, but he's
nice to see.
There. Yeah, always nice to see a bit of underwear. The ladies will be happy. Farrell now going in for Wigan. Wigan now taking it to left outside. A kick on those 5.
That's not a bad set of 6.
It's a very good set of 6. And now Warrington.
That's a booming. That's a very good kick.
Yeah. And here is Tom Linen. Tom Linen coming in as St. Helens against Wigan is being advertised 7 p.m. on Sunday after the England-Ukraine game.
Sunday. These games are coming thick and fast.
Yeah, and then Warrington Leeds on Monday. Plenty of rugby league coming over the next week. And, of course, a small matter of a a European Championship quarter-final throw-in. But that's enough football talk. Here we go, Chris Hill. Taking it in. And that's the point as well. I don't know if you caught the women's state of origin. Queensland just winning it right at the death with a
it was a great game.
Controversial.
It was a great game.
It was a good game.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think either of those two teams would give England a good game as well, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
It was a joke, people. Don't cancel me. Please, don't cancel me.
Yeah.
No, a great game. A really kind of a dramatic, which is what you want. You want that kind of drama. It helps to sell the sport. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, Stu Croughton here heard us talking about George Williams. He might know something we don't. He says George Williams will be going somewhere on a short-term deal and will be at Wire at the end of the season. So George Williams will not be signed by Warrington for this season, for next. So that's from Stu.
Maybe he's going to Leeds.
Tell you what, we've got some great names on Super League Raw. Derek Blanchard and Eugene Brown. Welcome, Eugene. Great name. Great name.
Welcome to the family.
Absolutely, indeed.
How many members have we got now, Dave? We've had a fair few this week.
Yeah, just short of 1,200 now. It's rising all the time. That's well done. Very well
done. He's playing well. Yeah. I don't want to curse the lad, but he's doing well.
He is doing well. Jason Cox is now watching. As too is Nazim Khan. We're getting a few people, which is great which is fantastic. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we've got ladies as well. Warrington at this moment in time leading this game by 12 points to 0, and Warrington have just won a penalty on their own 30-metre line.
I thought he'd given a knock on there, if I'm being perfectly honest. But
he's giving it to Warrington. Let's take a look.
I'll accept that.
Actually, I think Lulawai did him a favour there with the ball.
I'm not so sure.
No.
I know what that's for, but I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
I'll take it, definitely.
Yeah, so yeah, well done to Hull FC last week. Catalan continuing to impress. Considering that Davis and Tompkins, who have been in great form for Catalan, were out of that game. A tight affair, 16-6 at Castleford. And yet again, I have to say, Meakin for me, really, really impressive.
Yeah, you froze on me for a minute there, Dave. But for Catalan.
Yeah.
You're back now. You keep freezing for some reason. It must be that. Here we go, and that's another great try.
Yeah, Davis has just gone in. As we've
Davis 2 on bounce.
Yeah, Davis is having a really good couple of weeks for Warrington, and Wigan at the moment. 16-0 down now. Kick not in a bad spot if you're Warrington. This is a bit worrying if you're a Wigan Warriors fan, I have to say. Not good. Not good.
I'd be concerned. Not quite sure. Again, they're not missing as many players as I thought they would have been. And if that's a penalty for pushing his head down, then it's time to draw the curtains and go to bed. But as I say, I'll take it as a Warrington fan, and I've never seen a Wigan defence quite as shocking as that for a long, long time.
No, and you do fear for Lamb. I don't know what's happening at Wigan, but it's not the Wigan that we know. The commitment these last few weeks just seems to be lacking, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, I don't know. Is the Williams effect had something to do with it? The fact he doesn't want to go back there, I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean,
does he know something right. that we don't?
Something isn't right, and
no.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but both. I mean, and this is it. I mean, tonight, you can look at the Wigan team, and yes, you can say there's players out. Certainly, in the pack, they're missing some players. Obviously, Ardake, Bevan French is going to be out for the season, so we know that they're missing players. But so too Warrington. So this isn't a case of. This isn't a case of a Warrington starting 17 going to Wigan against a makeshift side and being 18-0 up after 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Two teams that today have got youth in the team. Yes, all right, maybe Wigan have got more. Of course, Wigan have got more, but I mean, there's an old timer there. He's seen many a Wigan game, I'm sure, at the old Central Park and beyond.
He's not a happy man, is he?
He's not a happy man.
I tell you what, let's not start celebrating too soon.
Absolutely.
Lee were 18-0 up against Wigan first game of the season, so let's not start celebrating.
I'm not
too
celebrating.
Soon. It could turn it around.
I'm just commenting on the first 23 minutes, and this if you're
they're not firing all cylinders. I mean, they've had first 10 minutes. They had the majority of play.
Yeah,
in our half.
First 5
or 6.
No, Cooper now has given a penalty as knocked on. I have to say
that's not a knock on. That is a penalty all day long.
Yeah, I mean it's Powell again. I think little shoulder there from Farrell. Look at this. Watch this. Here it comes. Oh, you've got to say, Farrell there. That is
come on, Mr. Hicks.
That is experience. That is professionalism of the highest quality. He saw an opportunity. He took it. Wigan need to score here. As they go from
but how do referees fall for that? I don't care who it is.
We're going to come in here. Let's just see how this one plays out.
Oh, that's a good pass out.
Yeah, that was Byrne there. Byrne is now on. So Wigan have done a few interchanges. As Powell sends it out to the left-hand side. It's with Smith. Smith to Farrell. Farrell always dangerous, but Ratchford was there with Hughes and Mamo wrapped up. And has the referee gone? No, I thought the referee might have gone back to one there, but he's not. As now the ball comes to the right side. No. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a cut. Oh, well done there by Pierce Paul. Now Hastings on the second phase. It's coming across to Jake Bibby. Jake Bibby trying to put a step on. Interesting about Jake Bibby. Jake Bibby scored 8 tries in, I think, the first 4 or 5 weeks of Super League. He's still on those 8 tries. There was a massive gap there. Massive gap. But Warrington managed to hold on. Wigan now. Fifth. Right on the line. Shorrock sent it out to left. Harry Smith, little kick in. Well done, Fewlis again. And he's not let anybody down there, has he, Fewlis? Done very well indeed, as Josh Fewlis there.
Yeah, I think.
But,
no. Dear me. We're going to got the Nagy up now, mate. We're going to got the Nagy up.
Yeah, Charlie now has just been took back in goal, and Warrington will be taking a drop out. Bit poor that from Charlie. For me, shouldn't be getting caught like that
good.
with his experience. But well done to
Mind
Wigan.
you. Yeah.
Well done, Wigan came off the line very quick there, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it looks like they got the Nagy up. Look, maybe they finally woken up. As that's that decision by the referee, I don't. Referees can't keep falling for that. It's clearly obvious.
Yeah.
That it's not a knock on. The way the ball flies out.
Yeah. You need to open your door, mate, and get your
Wi-Fi
there,
mate.
You need to open your door.
I think Warrington Wi-Fi hasn't quite kicked in yet.
No, it's coming.
It must be dropping in and out, mate, I'm afraid.
Yeah, right, here we go. Wigan now bringing it from their own half. Good drop out that from Blake Austin as Wigan come back in. Great tackle. I think Davis is involved there. Yes, he is. Davis, a big tackle, that one. Now here's Pierce Paul. Is it Pierce? No, it's not Pierce Paul. That's Byrne, isn't it? I think it was Byrne.
It's Byrne, I think. He's knocked on. Has he not? It's Partington. He's knocked on, I think, has he?
Yeah, he has knocked on.
Yeah, he's knocked on.
Warrington
really?
Celebrating. Knock on. Adrian Lamb not looking very happy at all there. Oh yeah, it was a loose carry.
I think that's reefed as well.
No, it's come off the knee. It's come off the knee of Curry. It's a loose carry.
I'm not sure about that.
I've been very kind to Wigan tonight in terms of some of my calls, but that one I have to say, I think the referee has got it right. It's all good fun. It's all good fun.
Just about, I think. Just about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Warrington 18, Wigan 0 at the DW Stadium as Warrington come into the Wigan's half once again, and that looks like Mulhern to me. Is that Mulhern coming on? And this lad, has he lost that? No,
I think it is Mr. Mulhern. Yes,
here's Mulhern. And to be fair to Mulhern, he's had a good season.
He has. He's played
Warrington. He's done well.
Yeah,
done very well.
He's not let anybody down. I'm just a bit surprised that Rob Butler hasn't been included as. Yeah. More times than he has. I thought Rob Butler was a good player for London and somebody that we lauded as a good signing when he came, and we've not used him much. So obviously, there's obviously things going on there that we don't know about. Surprised that Koala isn't on the bench after last week. He was magnificent. What else can you say? He was a brute of a player.
He was.
I know a lot of Warrington fans will disagree with me there, but last week he could argue it's only Lee, but he put himself about and he did more than his usual 8 or 9 minutes aside. Yeah. So a half, he did very, very well last week.
Yeah, no, he certainly. I mean, and to be fair, when you're playing the kids, you need your more experienced players to stand up, don't you, and be counted.
Yeah, you do, and he didn't let anybody down.
No, I agree.
So again, we're being forced to kick out their own halves, which is always a sign of good defence.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And just got to build on this now, Warrington.
Still not seeing anything announced.
I still think we're going to come back into it.
I'm still not seeing anything announced.
No,
supposed to have been announced by now. Still nothing mentioned. What's your gut feel? Goes ahead or doesn't? As Jason Clark comes on, good offload to Darryl Clark. Clark now brings it across, brings in Conor Wrench. Conor Wrench looking to. He keeps it alive. Conor Wrench probably should have there. To be fair, and straightens up.
Good run from Curry.
Yeah, good. So World Cup goes ahead or not?
Yeah, good run from saw a gap and he went through. I think goes ahead.
Yeah,
but would not be surprised if we didn't see an Australian or New Zealand team involved. Does that devalue it? Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it goes ahead, mate. I think if they can't come across, that's a poor kick from Austin there. But Charlie's got it back to Mamo. Mamo keeps it alive. Here's Mamo. Little dink in. It's going to bounce for Austin. Austin's coming in. Oh, it's a great hand from Partington. Oh,
he did well there, Partington.
He's just saved the try for Wigan.
Yeah, done. Superb from Partington. Yeah,
absolutely superb.
Not so sure we wouldn't have been paying for offside if he'd have scored anyway. I think he was in front of the kicker, but Yes, he was in front of the kicker. But nonetheless, Partington did very well. No, he didn't.
He did very well indeed.
Nice to see some inventive kicks coming in from Warrington, though.
I think as the season's gone on, we've seen that in Super League. I mean, we were talking early doors this season, the lack of kicks, the lack of 40-20s.
Little dinks behind the defence.
And it just seems these last few weeks it's starting to happen, isn't it?
It is. And that's a good kick. Is that Harry Smith? Oh, out on the full. Unlucky.
That is unlucky.
Unlucky. Harry Smith.
Yeah.
He's a good little player. He's going to be a great player, Harry Smith.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is a good player, the kid, without question.
Yeah. If I was Wigan, forget George Williams, I'd put all my faith in this kid. Oh, he's made a mistake there. But
well, I think that's what they've done. I mean, again, we're talking 40-20s last week. Harry Smith, good game. He got a 40-20 last week for Wigan. As did I think another player who deserves a mention last week. I thought Josh Drinkwater for Catalan. I think Drinkwater's having a great season.
Well, him and Maloney are forming a quite a frightening partnership.
Yeah,
quite a frightening partnership.
Good combination.
Yeah, they are. And one of the reasons why Catalan are top.
Yeah. Catalan are the real deal this year. There's no doubt about that. And I think if they stay injury free, they're going to be thereabouts at the end of the season. As Darryl Clark does a little bit of dressage here. He's on his way to right to left. Now it comes back inside to Hughes. Hughes doing the same, looking for an opening. Back to Ben Covey. They're not really going anywhere, Warrington here. It's back and two a little bit side to side.
A bit crabby, bit side to side, bit Ray Wilkins there, but never mind.
I like that. Crabby, like it. Absolutely. Here's now Ratchford. Ratchford bringing it to the left. Oh, a little ball to Phil. It's through. It's back to Ratchford. They're in trouble here. And Ratchford, he's dropped it. It's all over the place. I think
he's dropped it, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a knock-on thing. Stefan Ratchford with the try absolutely beckoning. Let's take a look. It's Luluai. It's a great tackle.
It's a good tackle.
That is from Bullock. Absolutely superb from Bullock.
Turning point. 24-0. Can't really see Wigan coming back.
I mean, that is a absolute storming tackle from Bullock there to stop Warrington from going 22-0 up. As we
possibly 24-0.
Well, with the kick, absolutely. But in terms of whilst we've got a minute, Wigan bringing it out, let's do a bit of sportsmanship here as Wigan got a penalty, anyhow. Wigan got a penalty on their own 40-metre line, Mulhern giving it away. Don Manfredi announcing this week, unfortunately, the young man is only 27 years of age. He's going to get through this season, but on doctor's advice, an early retirement. Good player, Manfredi, and
it's a shame for the lad. He's been dogged by injury throughout his career.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a bit like remember Wheeler from St Helens. He was a great player.
Wheeler.
Couldn't avoid injury. It's a real shame. It's a real shame because he'd have been an international winger. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Ball was there, but they've got away with it.
I believe what's Rashford looking at. Oh, no. Yeah, he'd have probably be cemented his international place. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Oh,
Pierce Paul there going through.
Yeah.
He's a good. Oh, hang on a minute. I think it's a try. The cameraman didn't see it. I think we've got a try. We have Sam Powell and Pierce Paul.
He's doing all right, the lad, isn't he?
I'd like to see this on a better camera angle, but Pierce Paul there, the young man, we said earlier in the show that we're looking forward to seeing him tonight, and he looks a good, big, strapping lad, built for this game without question, and he's just gone through the.
Let's have a look at this now.
Offloaded it. Let's have a look. Here we go. Good line. He's
that's
through.
A good run.
Poor defence from Austin. Oh, that's too easy.
Oh, that's superb.
Too easy. But it's a good run. It's two good runs, to be fair. Pierce Paul, really singling out Blake Austin. Austin went high. Not really the right option. And Sam Powell in support.
3 defenders around him.
Sam Powell having a good season for Wigan. He's having a good season.
He is. But that miss by Ratchford, as I said, is that the turning point?
Well, maybe. I mean, that's absolutely going to give Wigan a lot of belief here. And, absolutely. We said, that could be the try that galvanised them. The first 23 minutes was not great if you're a Wigan Warriors fan, but that was a lovely bit of work from the youngster, without question. Well done to Pierce Paul. I think it's the first time I've seen him, if I'm being honest. I can't recall seeing Pierce Paul.
No, I don't think
for a full 80 minutes anyway.
Well, not watching Wigan that closely. I thought it was a mystery when I saw it in the team sheet, I must admit. But No, fair play. He's having a great game.
Oh,
who's that?
That's Smithies.
That's, Smithies.
Smithies.
Oh,
Smithies looks
that
like he's out for the game. It looks like there. He's got ice on his ankle. So
is that a metatarsal?
We've got again a player that we've got a lot of time for. Morgan Smithies. He's a good player, isn't
he? Yeah, he has his little brain farts where he gets a nasty head on, but he's a good player. He's a good player.
Welcome to Tom Radford, who's watching. Hello, Tom. Let us know who your team is.
Good evening, Tom.
Yeah, good evening to you, Tom. So we're now at Warrington 18, Wigan 6. Wigan absolutely needed that. Warrington now will probably want to consolidate from here to half time. They'll probably want to get in.
Don't concede.
Margin intact.
Yeah, don't concede. Conceded a couple of decisions there. Warrington led to the Wigan try.
Jackson Hastings there. Yeah. Just took the line on. Wigan on a roll here. Shorrocks, wide it comes. It's a good ball again.
Yeah, no silly penalties now, Wyatt. Jason Clark is on.
And now the ball goes to the
left. Good to see.
To be fair, well done, Josh Charlie.
Yeah,
well done, Josh Charlie.
Yeah, Jason Clark gets a lot of stick from Warrington fans unfairly. I think he's a fairly solid operator.
Yeah,
he's never going to do a Liam Farrell and run through a team, but he's solid in defence and he makes some good little runs. I like Jason Clark. Got a lot of time for him. Yeah. That might upset a few Warrington fans, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, good step. Great step from Conor Wrench. And Wrench is away. Oh, what a fantastic step from the youngster. He's got support. He's come inside. Is that the right option? I don't think it was.
No, I don't think it was.
Should have gone left to Curry, but what a fantastic
and that's a penalty referee.
Warrington now going left to right. Ratchford over to Mamo. Mamo brings it back to Ratchford. Ratchford now. What's he going to do? I don't think he knows at the moment. He's got Philbin. He's still coming.
I don't think he knows what he's going to do.
Going to take the tackle. That's poor from Warrington. That's poor. Should have done better there. But Warrington now.
I would have gone for a cheeky little drop goal there, you know.
Oh, Bibby taking.
I would have gone for a cheeky little drop goal there.
Yeah.
3 minutes to half time.
That is fantastic from Wrench.
He did well there, Conor Wrench. Good lad. Well done.
I think he took the wrong option. I think Ben Curry. I think Bibby would have done Curry.
I think Bibby would have caught him. Yeah. If that had been Blake Austin, I think it'd have been under the sticks. But it was Darryl Clark, so we can't complain.
Conor Wrench scored one of the Warrington tries, and without question, has just shown some.
Yeah, that's a good run from Robbie Mulhern.
As Brian Clough said in the Damn United, lovely feet. Absolutely.
What a great film that is.
Quality.
I love Brian Clough. He was an absolute
Damn United. You can put all your medals.
Brian Clough was a great manager.
Yeah, that bit where Warrington to go.
Oh, should have given it.
Ben Curry should have put Conor in there. And now it's Fewless. Bringing it to the right hand side. Tries to go himself, does the youngster. Warrington really trying to end the first half here with another score on the board. Darryl Clark, short ball to Curry. Very
wrong option again.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a player injured here for Wigan, and that's game. It was I think Isa.
Is it Lulaway or is it Isa? It's Lulaway.
Sorry, that bit in the Damn United way. So you can put all your medals in the bin because you only won them through cheating. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic film.
Michael Sheen, what a great actor.
Great actor, mate. Great actor.
Great actor.
Yeah, I have to say, do you know what? If somebody was to make a very boring film of my life, Martin Sheen could be a good one to play it.
I'd have. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I'd have Brad Pitt playing.
Here's the drop goal. Here's the drop goal. Did he get it? Oh, he missed. Unbelievable. Ratchford has just missed a drop goal, bang centre. Oh, that is poor, Stefan.
Oh, has he?
Did he miss it?
Did he miss it?
No, he must have missed it. He must have missed it. Oh dear, Stefan.
He's had a bit of a mare the last 5 minutes, Steph, hasn't
he? He's not done well. Hello, Anthony Horton. Anthony Horton has now joined us, as is my brother. Big Al is he's online. Good to see.
Good evening, Big Al. Good evening, Mr. Horton. Hope you both well.
Absolutely. So at half-time, we're going to do some of the usual Super League Raw weekly things. We're going to replay the team of last week for you. A few interesting selections in that. If you haven't seen it, me and Greg will have a quick chat around that, and then we'll look at some of the statistics.
Yeah. That was poor. That was poor.
He played it with his feet.
Smith did well, Smith, actually. Did well.
Yeah, minutes.
That's forward.
Back to 6, I think, is it? No, he's given a knock on.
No, it's a forward pass. It's a forward pass.
He's given a knock on.
Yeah.
And Powell, not happy.
Powell's obviously forgot his whistle this week.
So we'll be taking a look at some things, and we'll also talk about a few things that are going on in and around Super League as well before we get into the second half. But
That's poor.
In the same way that Farrell, that cheeky little shoulder that forced the knock on, Jason Smart there has actually knocked on himself now.
That's a clear knock on. Yeah, it's a clear knock on. Get a bit ragged. Oh no, there's another hand in there as well. Again, there's another hand in there. Powell again.
About 3 or 4 times in this game. Sam Powell has gets his little hand in, and he's that's much needed. So we're going to get another couple of tries at the Warrington line here as Farrell takes it in.
Yes, we need half time. Warrington need half time.
10 seconds to go. This probably is always. Oh, that's an interesting chip, but that's not going to go anywhere unless the bounce is unkind to Warrington, but Austin will just knock it out.
Well done.
And that will be half time. So half time, Wigan 8, Warrington 8, Wigan 6, Warrington 18. What we're gonna do is we're going to charge our glasses, and while we're doing that, we'll be back in about 3 minutes and 20 seconds to be precise. What we're going to do is we're going to just play last week's team of the week, just so that me and Greg can just quickly go and, like I say, charge our glasses, and then we'll have a little chat about the team of the week as we do, and just do that. We'll have a little chat around team of the week as we do, and talk a few things rugby league, including a little bit of halftime analysis of this game between Warrington and Wigan. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes' time.
See you in a little while, folks. Debs, can you grab us those 4 cans in the fridge, please?
Greg, you need to go on mute, mate, or else we'll all be having a can with you, mate.
Say again.
I said you need to go on mute, or we'll all be having a can with you. top stuff, mate. Well done. Right, okay. Oh, love it. Happy days. We always said it was raw, and by God, is it raw? Here we go.
It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 11. And at fullback, it's Richie Myler of the Leeds Rhinos. When Leeds win, often it coincides with a great display from Myler. Another first-class performance with ball in hand this week for Richie, taking him to 4 tries and 8 assists for the season thus far. And on the right wing is Darrell Alferts of the Castleford Tigers. Whilst the Tigers went down to the league leaders, Alferts produced another strong performance. A willing runner throughout the game, no one gained as many metres as Darrell this week in Super League. And at right centre is Joe Arundel of Wakefield Trinity's debut in the Team of the Week this year. Whilst not on the score sheet for Trinity, Arundel played a key part in their 4th win of the season versus the Wigan Warriors. And at left centre is Tom Briscoe of Leeds Rhinos. A firm fixture in the centre this term for the Rhinos, Briscoe played a blinder versus the Salford Red Devils. Perhaps this was his best performance of the season thus far. And on the left wing, it's Jack Broadbent, also of the Leeds Rhinos. It was Broadbent who benefited from his centre's work rate and set-up play, scoring a superb brace. Broadbent will be enjoying the benefit of Briscoe's knowledge, and it is starting to show. And at standoff, it's Mark Sneed of Hull FC. After a very difficult first 40 minutes versus the Giants, the Black and Whites needed something to galvanise them in the second half, and quite simply, it was Sneed who orchestrated the perfect comeback. And at scrum half this week, it is Josh Drinkwater of the Catalan Dragons. Drinkwater has been an integral part of the Dragons' rise to the summit this year. 2 more assists this week, taking him to just 3 behind Jake Connor. And at prop is Leachy Sow of Hull FC. The pack of Hull FC has laid the platform all year for a brilliant first season in charge for Brett Hodgson. With Chris Satai play for the combined nation, Sow had a monster of a match. And at hooker, it's Danny Walker of Warrington Wolves. The more we see of Walker, the more we are impressed. Against Lee, Walker came out of the shadow of the absent Darryl Clark and proved that he is one to watch in the coming years. Brought forward is David Fafita of Wakefield Trinity. It appears that Fafita leaves his strongest performances for the Wigan Warriors. A strong running game was complemented by 31 tackles in defence to condemn the Wigan side to their third successive defeat. And at second row is Jay Pitts of Wakefield Trinity. For the first time this season, 3 Trinity players make the team of the week. With a debut for Pitts, Jay was equally as impressive as Fafita in the second row. And on the other side of the second row is Alex Mellor of the Leeds Rhinos. The 26-year-old made his highest metres of any second row in round 11, despite great competition in the form of Manu Mayo and Josh Jones. His try just edged them out this week. And finally, at loose forward, Matt Davis of the Warrington Wolves. The versatile Davis found himself at loose forward this week and played extremely well. A strong and determined display for the Wolves and a well-timed run and try on 15 minutes gives him our number 13 shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Super League Raw Round 11 Team of the Week.
So the Round 11 Team of the Week, a few debutants in that this time around. 3 Wakefield Trinity players, Greg, in the Team of the Week last week, having beaten Wigan. And news that maybe, just maybe, despite all of the turmoil around Wakefield and comments around Chris Chester's, rumours are that a new contract could be being signed by Chris Chester, keeping him at Wakefield a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think we said it right at the beginning, didn't we? That the comments about Chester were unfounded. He's in a new job with a new team. And give the guy a chance, give him time. And he's getting there. He's getting there. They're not perfect, Wakefield, but they've actually the performances have improved massively over the last few weeks. So I'm pleased for the guy. He's a decent fella. He's a good coach. Give the guy a chance. Give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I can't argue that team. I thought Mr. Death, Mr. Morg for Catalan had a good game. But I can't argue that side.
Good to see. Good to see different. Different names.
It is.
It was good to see. And
Richie Myler was superb. It's good to see Richie Myler play well.
Myler, like we said in the announcement there, when Myler plays well, Leeds play well.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's been dogged by injuries as well since he came back from Catalan. So, it's good to see Richie Myler doing well.
Right. Got some stats coming up here, Greg. So let's just have a quick look. Warrington 18, Wigan 6. Obviously, we're doing a bit of a watch along tonight, as well as doing the Super League Raw weekly piece as well. Just waiting for it to come up. Here we go now. Let's have a look. So completion rate, absolutely the same, 75% each. Warrington,
that's poor.
Possession. Warrington have made more tackles. Wigan have missed 9 tackles. Warrington 588 metres to Wigan's 421. The handling errors, 6 for Warrington, 3 for Wigan. So statistically, closer than the scoreboard.
It is, and as I said when Steph missed that try, that could be a bit of a turning point. I'd said before then, let's as a Warrington fan, I'm not celebrating anything. I've seen Wigan come back from worse than that. So, but 75% completion rate at this level for the standard of these two teams, that's poor. That's poor. That's you'd expect completion rate for both sides to be in the 90%. So you expect mistakes, but that needs to improve from both teams. The team that ups the completion, I sound like Phil Clark now, but the team that ups the completion rate in the second half is going to be the team that wins this.
No, absolutely.
So, which is like not as subtle as Phil Clark's the team that wins most points is going to win the game. He's a bit of a genius in that respect. He's Phil Clark. You've got to admire the man.
Oh dear me. Oh dear
sorry, Phil, if you're watching, please don't cancel me.
Oh dear. So let's just we'll come back to the Wigan game in a minute. Let's just take a look at some other bits and pieces from last week, and here we go. Let's just make sure that let's move us around a little bit. Hopefully we're back in, and you're seeing that. So let's take a look at the top try scoring charts. We're having to stay on because we're doing this a little bit different this week. Ryan Hall remains the top try scorer. Put us over here. Warrington, Gareth Widdop, who's going to be out for a bit, now up to 10. Last week, Adam Swift, Toby King with 9 each there. There's Jake Bibby. Like I say, he was top of the shops for many weeks, but He's still there on 8. And Mahe Fanawa, who is also doing well for Hull FC. He's now in the top try scorers. In terms of top try assists, Jake Connor 17. Drinkwater's brace gets him to 14 now, with Abdul Lomax and Tompkins. So Josh Drinkwater at the table last week. Great performance from Drinkwater against Catalan. Top meters, Darrell Olferts. Darrell Olferts last week, I think it was something like 217 yards. I could be wrong. I'll have a look at that in a minute. But his try was not a full length of the field try either. It was just over in the corner. So yeah, Darrell doing really well for Cass, Ryan Hall, Davis. Quite a lot of wingers in there, but there he is, Jake Mamo, doing a lot of work for. And he's done quite. I think to my recollection, that's probably his third 80-meter try this season.
It's not far off. Far off. He's covered some ground to score tries this season.
Absolutely.
I don't need to repeat what I've said about Jake Mamo. I think it's quite clear what I think.
Absolutely. Top tacklers. We've seen one tonight in Sam Powell. 457 tackles now this season. Jay Pitts of Wakefield, 440. Horton, 436, Caterford 95, and Luke Yates back in to the top 5 last week. Player of the round, interesting. A few changes here. Interesting this one. Albert Goldthorpe gave the 3 points to Liam Watts, and the only reason I could see for their omission of Josh Drinkwater was the fact that Watts, as a forward, was deputising a scrum half. But again, I do scratch my head at some of these 3 points that are given out. Yeah, I really do. Yeah. Richie Myler and Danny Walker all in agreement there, but Trinity and Alexi, a bit.
It's a strange one, Liam Watts. It's a strange one.
Well, Ryan Hampshire getting a little shout out. You mentioned Ryan Hampshire's try.
Great try.
The Albert Goldthorpe there. So what does that do for Man of Steel? Well, Abdul remains top on 16. Just move us to the other side for a second. Abdul stays on 16, Tompkins 16, Lomax 15, Gareth Widdop now moving up to 15 as well. And actually, I know that it's you tipped Widdop right at the start of the season for Man of Steel.
I did.
He leads the Albert Goldthorpe table with 17 to Jake Connor's 15. So he's actually ahead on the Goldthorpe table.
The problem with that is he's going to be out for, I think rumours are between 3 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
so that's
a big blow.
That's a massive blow. Let's hope it's 3 and not 8. But, if the guy's injured, what can you do?
Great week for you last week on the predictions, Greg. You overtake the Super League Fans Forum members by a point, 108.
It's about time.
So now you've just got the task of knocking me off my perch, mate, on 132.
I'm way behind you yet, sir. I'm way behind you.
There's lots, mate. We're not even halfway through the season yet. So there's plenty of time to go there. And at the moment, as things stand in this particular game, we're 12 points. But at the moment, you and the Fans Forum are in line for 5 points to my 2 if things were to remain the same in the second half. So all very interesting, indeed. I think I saw this week. I didn't actually take a look at the article, but it might be something that we can do next week.
Can I just say, Dave?
Yeah, could be something that we do next week. I can't remember in what publication I saw it, but one of the sites has done a dream team, a halfway through the season dream team. Who would that be? So maybe a little bit of homework for me and you between now and next week's program. Who would be our 13?
That'll be interesting.
So if you send me that, I'll do a little graphic for you. If you send me that over by next Tuesday, I'll put it together on the Wednesday morning for you, and we'll compare and contrast. There'll be no cheating my end. It'll be interesting to see who we.
Blimey, mate. When I signed up to this, I didn't think I'd be getting homework.
It's about time you did a bit. You know what I mean?
Sir, you're a scoundrel, sir.
Anyway, so,
and for those of you worrying, Sal did indeed get the beers in. Fantastic. So I'll clear that sticky situation up.
And knowing Greg as I do, that could have been a lot worse.
Yes, it could have been, including blue flashing lights and a visit to A&E. But there we go.
Absolutely. Now, so obviously we mentioned we've gone through the fixtures in terms of where we were. Obviously tomorrow night, Huddersfield Catalan. I think we're pretty firm in terms of that one, in terms of which way that one could go. Leeds against Lee, the same. So let's just move forward to Sunday.
Yeah.
Good game, this one. St Helens against Wigan. Always a good watch. Saints also got a few injury concerns, but obviously having had a rest last week, obviously Wigan are going to have to back up. Saints aren't going to have to back up, and Saints will probably be favourite for that, won't they?
I think they're overwhelming favourites. I'm sure Wigan fans will disagree with me, but I think, as we were saying last week, sometimes that week off does you no good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that the habit of playing, the muscle memory, or whatever you want to call it, kicks in. But these games are a bit like, and I don't want to go to, mentioning football again. These games are a bit like United-Liverpool games. When United are at top of the league, Liverpool always do the business. When Liverpool are dominating, United always seem to beat them. And it seems to be the same with Wigan and Saints. When Saints are dominating, Wigan seem to pull out a win, and vice versa. But this time around, they've had a week off. I know, and as we've said last week, not often does you a favour, but I think Saints are going to win this one, and I think they're going to win it quite easily.
I say in these type of games, form goes out the window in these type of derbies. We know that.
They do, yeah, they do. But in this case, I hope, obviously, as a Warrington fan, I'm hoping that we do the business tonight. And is that 4 defeats on the trot for Wigan then?
That'll be 4. Yeah,
4 defeats on the bounce for Wigan.
That'd be bad.
Losing, as they say, becomes a habit.
Say a few of those, mate. Gareth Wellman, Chris Shaw, Ross Asprey, Lisa Worrell, Robert Bowers on and watching. Hello, everybody. How are you enjoying the Wigan Warrington game thus far?
Yeah.
Let us know. Add your comments below. It'd be good to hear from you.
Yes.
We will be covering the entire second half and talking all things rugby league throughout the game. Good to have you with us. If you've not joined the Super League Fans Forum, by all means do. Be good to have your company and to join an ever-increasing membership. It'd be good to have you, without question.
Yeah. Shout out to all the members tonight for joining us. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It's good to know you enjoy what we do. But let's hope the second half is as good for me as the first half was.
Yeah, no,
I'm trying desperately to be neutral, but hey, when has that ever stopped Phil Clark? So.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, mate. A good old Phil. And this is why we do it. I mean, we're absolutely sick of the Sky commentary. It's why we do what we do in it. It gets us together. We have a bit of a laugh. Don't take it too seriously. We'd love to actually have Wigan. It'd be lovely to get a Wigan fan put their hand up to come on for the second half. If there's any Wigan fans watching, let us know who you are in the comments. And you know what? We might actually bring you in and you can give us your take on the game as it unfolds.
Yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have had a Wigan fan on tonight to
would have
give their view, like the Huddersfield fan a few weeks ago. That was a real good night. Really enjoyed that with the Huddersfield fan.
It was.
It was a good night. It was a good banter. Good to shame they beat us, but never mind.
These things happen.
It was good to have just somebody on to chat about. They knew things about Huddersfield that they could bring. Yeah. So come on, when we do this again, let's get some fans in here.
Well, we're about to go to 1,196 members because Steve Dunn from Llanelli has asked to...
Clonethley.
My apologies for the shocking pronunciation.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. Can't get the staff. Right, we're underway. Second half. Wigan just kicked off against Warrington. Tom Lynham takes that one on the full, and he goes into a gigantic Mr. Pierce Paul, who had a very good first half.
Impressed with that lad. Yeah. Like I say, maybe some Wigan.
Good line from Ben Curry there.
Maybe some Wigan fans could give us the lowdown on Pierce Paul and let us know about him.
Well,
is this his first game?
I'm going to have to do another shout out to a good old friend of mine from my school days. Gary Whaley is watching. Big Gary. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well over there in Warrington. Good man, Mr. Whaley. Spent many a happy hour in his company as a child. So welcome, Gary. Good to see you, mate. As Warrington now take, it's a good run there from Jason Clark. Oh, good step.
That's a great one.
Powell again in defence, doing well.
And attacking the ball again, Powell. Yeah, attacking the ball again. Did you see that?
Definitely.
That's not
Tom,
good.
To be fair to Tom Lanny, he's done well there. He's done well there. That's about as good as he could do, apart from the tackle, which was an absolute shocking attempt from him there. But yeah,
Powell attacking the ball again. The referee's got to wake up to this. I'm afraid it's not good from the referee, and we're not. This is not a forum for bashing referees, but he's got to wake up to this. What Sam Powell's doing in the tackle.
There's no doubt Sam Powell he's certainly testing the strength of the carry. I'm going to be diplomatic. Be diplomatic in the assessment of Mr. Powell. As Wigan now come to the left-hand side with Liam Farrell. And that's the fourth tackle for Wigan as Gildart is at dummy half. He sends it out to Jackson Hastings. Like I say, Jackson Hastings, is he through? He is through. Oh, that's a massive gaping hole. Ratchford goes in. There was no support there. That is unbelievable. Well, there was just no support. None at all. Wigan Warriors fans will be going ballistic. That
was all rugby,
it's another interception. Jake Mamo has intercepted for the second time, and Jake Mamo is going.
He's done it again.
He's going through. It's unbelievable. Jake Mamo is second full length for the field try. His second interception of the game, and it'll be he's giving it. He's going to the screen.
Going to the screen.
I thought it was. Jake Mamo, the man that is yet to be signed for 2022 for the Warrington Wolves, Huddersfield and Castleford Tigers fans, you know who you are. The ones who
Lee Breers there is saying to Price, give him a contract now. Well, give him a contract now.
Price doesn't give a toss, does he now? He's not going to be there. But you Castleford fans, you Huddersfield fans, the ones who have doubted this young man, I'm telling you, he's in the form of his life.
Look at that. How many times has he done that this season? How many times? Going back to that, was it Partington who made the break?
No, it wasn't. It was
Burn?
I think it was Burn. Yeah, it was number 19. It was Burn, and there was just no support. No support.
I didn't know whether Warrington thought it was crossing because everybody stopped.
Yeah, I agree. But
I've never seen anything like before in my life. Everybody just stopped.
I have to say
that's wonderful. Wonderful from Mamo.
We talked about the beautiful, wonderful feet of Conor Wrench in the first half. Can I say the soft and delicate hands of Jake Mamo?
You may.
Well, yeah, but when you consider that ball literally travelled a metre, and that ball was moving at pace out the hands of Harry Smith to control at that distance.
Yeah,
that wasn't
just a little tap.
That was like I say, soft and gentle. He'll be advertising Fairy Liquid, mate, if he carries on. That is absolutely different class from Jake Mamo.
Steady on, sir. Steady on.
I was just saying. Hey, hands that do dishes can be soft as Jake boy with the El Fairy Liquid. Good on Jake Mamo. I'm here.
And good night, everyone. I shall see you all next week.
Oh, it's fine. We do it.
I'm going camping then. Anyway.
Dear. Yeah,
you won't get Phil Clark saying stuff like this, would you?
Yeah, soft and delicate hands.
Get this guy signed. If Daryl Powell is this guy, he's got to be on the
Greg's Wi-Fi. Apologies, Greg's Wi-Fi. You're talking like a Dalek, Greg. You're talking like a Dalek. Hang on, Jack Hughes now trying to get through. I'll let Greg's Wi-Fi sort itself out. Hopefully we'll be back in a minute with Greg. As Adrian Lamb looks on here, he doesn't look happy at all.
He froze on me again, Dave.
Yeah, no, it was actually, I think it was yourself, mate. I think. Hang on a minute. It's play on. Daryl Clark. Has he got the legs? No, he's not. He's going to come back to Gildart. He's going to offload this. He has. It's Ratchford.
Yeah,
Ratchford. What's up, mate?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Anyway, goes to the left-hand side. Here comes.
Yes. Are you back?
I am back. Yeah. Jason Clark now for Warrington into Mulhern. Mulhern trying to get in. Oh, he's lined Shorrocks up there. He's done well. Yeah, it's all good fun. You were saying, Greg, we didn't catch any of that. You were like a Dalek, mate.
Yeah, I gathered it was the way you were looking at me like it was basically a Dalek. But if Darryl Powell is watching this game, he's got to be on the phone to the Warrington Board of Directors and saying, get Mamo a new contract now. Yeah. He has to be.
And from a salary cap perspective,
because as I said before, the guy does know which was. Yeah, he's not going to be costing centre or wing from one week to the next, and he does a job and he scores tries. Yeah. Get him signed.
I agree. Oh,
got to get him signed.
That will be.
He's going to pull this back.
Yeah, that'll be pulled back. That's not going to be a try. And to be fair, in the context of the game, in the context of this match, that was an input. And Mamo 2 interceptions. That second one, big for Warrington to be 24 points to 6 up. Just before half time, Wigan were just in the ascendancy. They were getting involved as we look at Morgan Smithies, not looking very happy on the bench there. But yeah, a good start for Warrington.
It's superb start, mate. I must admit to having a few little worries at half time that Wigan might come back into this, and they still might. But that's the best possible start to the second half that we could hope for, given the fact that the break by the Wigan player and it's as if it was all in slow motion. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was.
I just like, what's going on? I don't think he could believe it himself, and I think that was the problem. Yeah. He couldn't believe the fact he'd broken through. I think he expected the referee's whistle. But yeah. Let's see what develops here, sir.
Indeed. Let's see what develops here as balls come out.
Oh, he'll give that as a penalty. He'll give that as a penalty. Yes.
And he's given that as a penalty. I actually think that was in the tackle. Let's have a look at this.
It's exactly the same. It is a strip. It is the strip. But it's exactly the same as what he's been given as a knock-on against us.
I agree. I think there's been a couple that Wigan have got tonight where that is.
And this is what annoys fans.
Yeah.
This is, as I said in the first half, this is what winds fans up. Yeah. That exactly the same incident is a knock-on for one team and a penalty for another, and it needs addressing.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that.
It needs addressing. It is ruining games, and it's actually deciding games.
Yeah, certainly close games. Certainly close games.
Yeah, exactly. And Wigan could score.
It's coming wide. Is it going to be back to 6? No, the referee's hand hasn't gone up yet. As Marshall comes in, Philbin and Jason Clark, that is.
Yeah, and they'll give a penalty here.
It's 4th. Oh, little ball inside. Oh,
that's a forward pass.
Well, it's back to Powell now. Lulawai, they're giving it some air. Pierce Paul. Now it goes wide to Bibby. Bibby, can he take him on? He goes for it himself. Oh, Bibby. It's a great ball to Pierce Paul. Trying to get it out. I have to say, he's a tough man to handle.
He's a handful, isn't he? He's a handful.
He's a player, this boy. He's built for the game.
They're not going to miss John Bateman with him in the second row.
He's a big lad. There's no question about that. He's
impressive. He might make the team of the week.
That's a good kick. Ratchford should get there. Oh, it will be a dropout.
It is a dropout. It bounces up into into.
Now the question is: does Gildart push him, or does it come off? No, that's fine. That's fine. We did the team of the week obviously at half time. Just to give a few little raps to people. Darrell Alford's 216 metres in that game against Catalan. 216 metres ran with ball in hand. That is some effort from Darrell Alford's, that.
Yeah. Oh, is Jason Clark gone again?
I know.
He's all right.
Yeah. No, he seems to be okay, which is
waving to his mates in the crowd.
Yeah. And you were talking about Richie Myler as well at half time for Leeds. Here's one for you. Eight tackle busts.
No big rats with Darrell Alford's.
What's that?
That's brilliant for a fullback.
Yeah, for a fullback.
No, you're saying Myler, yeah.
Yeah,
that's great. That is fantastic for a fullback.
Yeah, phenomenal.
8 tackle busts.
Yeah, phenomenal, mate.
Yeah.
You can't knock that.
Really. I've realised why my Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. It's every time somebody walks past the house. Oh, what's he give now? Oh, come on. What's he give now?
But it is one for you.
What?
Here's one for you. So you talk about play, right?
Well,
We've seen this season in terms of tackles. We've seen that the likes of your hookers. They go. We're going to come in here. Farrell will just hold this fort for a minute as Wigan now putting pressure on the Warrington line. Mamo having a little chat with the touch judge there to no avail as Wigan now brings it to the right hand side. It's Harry Smith to Shorrock. Shorrock by Chris Hill, who's back on the field of play. So Chris Hill returns for Warrington.
Yeah, he's just come off from Mulhern.
Now Harry Smith to Lulawai. Lulawai cut out ball. It's a great run. It's a fantastic try from Wigan. Isa is in. It was a really good move from left to right for Wigan. And Willie Isa goes in for Wigan. 24 points to 10. And well done there. That was a really, really good sweeping move from left to right.
Well worked try.
Who are back in the game.
Yeah. Again, on the back of a knock-on stroke penalty that could have gone either way, but
if you watch that again,
chances.
If you watch that again, this one by Pierce Paul is critical.
Yeah,
it's critical.
He's a great. He's looking a good player. He really is.
I mean, for those people who don't watch rugby league and for those people who don't know what I'm on about when I say that, Pierce Paul runs a diagonal line that basically takes the Warrington players out of the Warrington defence. They're that worried about the short ball going to Pierce, but it's just good, honest running by Pierce Paul. He's
a big lad.
The big lad.
Yeah.
It created the overlap for Willie Isa to go in. Well done to the Wigan Warriors there. 24 points to 10.
And I tell you something, Pierce Paul could be making an early shout for next week's team of the week.
He's had
at this rate.
He's had a good game. There's a lot of games.
He's played well.
A lot of games between now and then, but without question, he's had a fine game.
Yeah, he's putting his name. He's putting his name in the bag.
Harry Smith.
He's certainly outshone Curry and Hughes.
And he's pulled it.
And he's missed it.
24 points to 10.
Which is
still it's still over 2 converted tries that Warrington lead, but Wigan backing it on 51 minutes. We're going to see it again. This run from Pierce Paul now, that is a
there you go. Superb dummy run.
I think it was Ben Curry. It just basically gives Ben Curry a problem. And, that's just good, honest rugby league, isn't it?
It is. And I like to say, he's certainly outshone Ben Curry so far.
Yeah.
And fair play to the lad.
Yeah,
as I say, it'd be interesting to hear for some Wigan fans on their views of this guy.
Big hit there.
That was a big hit.
That was a massive hit on Bullock.
Yeah.
That was huge.
This is why I'm surprised. Unless he's got an injury, why he didn't pick up a bat, did he? He surprised that Koala isn't in the 17 because this is a game made for him.
Big tackle there on Jackson Hastings by
big tackle from Rashford.
Yeah, there was good.
Yeah.
Again, Wigan really moving the ball now from left to right, right to left. They're forcing the Warrington players to do a bit of work in defence as Farrell goes in. And I think Warrington will just want to get through this next set of 6. It's important that Warrington complete, I think, because Wigan at the moment, as we've seen already, as Fewlist takes that, not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Warrington need just to consolidate here. Wigan in the last 5-10 minutes, well, certainly the last 5-6 minutes, Wigan have been in the ascendancy. Warrington, important that the
and again a little kick at the ball there by the Wigan player.
Yeah, saw that. You're quite right, and there's no question. Wigan are leaving their arms in. They're forcing Warrington.
Little things.
Mamo tried to get away again, but it's another good tackle by Pierce Paul. He's having a fine game, the young man. A fine game as Chris Hill now goes in. Right. I think Warrington are on the 4th tackle as they go in again. That's Cooper now back on for Warrington. Pierce Paul again in the tackle. And now Warrington are on 5th and last. It'll come to Blake Austin, I'm sure. There it is. Big bomb going up. Jackson Hastings underneath it. And he takes it. Not a problem at all.
Takes it well.
Yeah, he did take it well. To be fair, there was a lot of height on that. And Hastings trying to break, but that's a good tackle.
Good tackle.
Connor Wrench. It was Connor Wrench.
That's a great tackle from the one. Yeah. Connor Wrench is pushing man of the match here,
Yeah, Connor Wrench
going to give it to a Warrington player.
He's having a fine game, no question about it.
He is. Defence and attack. I think Mamo might just be so waiting for another great man of the match speech.
Sounded like John Barnes for a minute then, mate. Defence and attack. Yeah, in terms of there's Pierce Paul again for Wigan. Yeah, last week as well is interesting stats for you as well. Last week, two players were the highest tacklers in Super League with 52 apiece. Both were Castleford Tigers prop forwards. Daniel Smith, George Griffin, 52 each. That's a hell of a shout from two prop forwards.
To be honest, though, they had a lot of work to do, didn't they? Well taken, Josh Thewlis again.
Yeah.
They did have a lot of work to do, though, in all fairness.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely,
so
mate.
I think referee once his feet leave the floor, referee, you shout held. I think they're the laws of the game. But
right.
You know, who am I to tell you your job?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no. That's my, like I said.
Yeah, I think my offensive still Castleford props there. Superb.
Why talk Catalan at the moment? And like you say, for Castleford to have for two prop forwards to get through 52, oh, that could be a 40-20 attempt. It is a 40-20. It won't go the full 40.
The bounce.
Marshall had to watch that all the way, but he'll bring it back inside. He finds Jackson Hastings. Hastings giving it some air. Looks like it's Jake Bibby there, and Jake Bibby is brought to ground by Connor Wrench and Lynham. Now, here comes Pierce Paul again, another good run. Is it? Oh, no, it's Willie Isa.
It's Willie Isa, that, mate. Yeah, that's Willie Isa.
Hint of forward.
Forward pass.
Hastings will bring it over halfway. Third tackle, Warrington. Like I say, there's a bit of impetus here in Wigan. I think they sense that at the moment there.
Yeah, if you're a Warrington fan, you're a little bit concerned at this moment in time. Yeah, I've got to admit.
Wigan have got the tails up. And we've got to remember that two of Warrington's tries have been, full length. Oh, that went forward.
That's a mile
forward. It was a mile forward. And I think they'll give a knock.
No, it's a forward. They're going to give a knock on it. It's a forward pass by a mile.
Yeah, that's a forward pass.
It's a forward pass by a mile.
I think we're going to get away with this. Yeah, that's forward.
That's shocking.
That's
and forward. Now, come on, linesman. You're in line with that.
No.
Linesman, there is no excuse for that.
Well, again, it's a decision.
That is a shocking decision.
Yeah, that was a big one.
I'm sorry.
Havard back on for Wigan.
If you're a linesman...
Farrell bringing it in. Wigan, absolutely.
Sorry, linesman. If you don't see that as a forward pass...
Yeah. Well, Wigan at the moment are absolutely in control of the game at this stage. Obviously, the scoreboard is in Warrington's favour. But Wigan at the moment have got a bit of belief in the game. There's no question. Powell going to bring it to the left. Will he go himself? No, he won't. He'll give it some air. Wide it comes. Here comes Hastings again, who's growing in influence. It's a great kick, and Gildart goes in for Wigan.
Shocking.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's shocking.
Jackson Hastings is growing in influence here in this game, and Wigan is back in it as the Wigan's finest in the crowd there, giving themselves.
Right.
Oh dear!
See that ball has gone.
I don't know. It's it was forward a mile. Yeah, it was forward a mile, but a good try. Gildart goes in, and now it's game on. As Greg's Wi-Fi again is he's starting to play up. Yeah, I think it's Greg's. It's not mine. I don't think. But yeah, Greg's Wi-Fi is just out a little bit. It's still going on. Greg's Dalek. He's a big Doctor Who fan. Every now and again, he comes along as a Dalek. He's going to probably dial back in as we see Harry Smith now trying to make this 24 points to 16, and it's very much game on. He's pulled it though. Has he pulled it? Yes, he has. So it remains 24 points to 14. Kicking very, very much going to be interesting as this game continues between Warrington and Wigan. But Wigan at the moment playing some good rugby. Warrington just looking a little bit, just a little bit out of sorts. It has to be said. A little stormtrooper now in the crowd there for Wigan. That's interesting. But yes, Wigan coming back into this game. Jackson Hastings, without question, is growing in influence. As Greg will be joining us again in a second. It looks like he's dialing in as we speak. As Wigan now come back into the middle. Oh, Darryl Clark has just took a big hit, and the referee has called a halt here to the game. As Darryl Clark Darrell Clark's night is over. That will be a head assessment. And Darrell Clark's game for tonight is over. Richard Wilkinson, welcome to tonight's feed. We hope you're well. Great to have you with us here on Super League Raw Weekly. It's a weekly program. We normally do it on YouTube. Tonight we've decided to do it here on Facebook. We've gone through quite a few features, the usual features: try of the week, team of the week, etc., etc. But before we combine it tonight with a little watch along, Warrington Wolves against Wigan Warriors, of course, as Danny Walker now comes on for the injured Darrell Clark, who is going off. We're just waiting. I'm waiting to see if Greg, who does this show with me, is going to return. I'm sure he will. Yeah, Darrell Clark. I don't expect to see Darrell Clark coming back any time soon tonight. I think that's a head assessment that he's going to be going for, and it's unlikely that he will return. Greg's video appears to be still a problem. I'm going to carry on regardless. Here we go. Isa going in for Wigan. There's still 20 minutes to go in this game. It's still going to be anybody's, without question. It's going to be anybody's. But Warrington at the moment really need to get ball in hand. Warrington against Leeds this Monday, 7:30, Halliwell Jones Stadium. Of course, the big game is going to be St Helens against Wigan on Sunday. A big game, that one, for Wigan Warriors fans and for St Helens fans, having had a couple of weeks without rugby league in their town. And here now comes Farrell for Wigan. I think that's halfway for them, as it's fourth, as Greg is still trying to get back to us. He's yet to find a way back. Here he is. He's back on now. Don't know if we can hear you, Greg. Now the Wi-Fi connection in Warrington is really struggling, which is a great shame. But hang on, another injury here, is it? Yes, another injury for Warrington. This is getting from bad to worse now for Warrington. Darrell Clark just gone off with a HIA, no question about that. And now another player down for Warrington. They are. I think we've got you back, Greg. I can hear you now.
Hello, David.
Yeah.
The Warrington jury has come to its decision. Sorry, mate. I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi. I do apologise. I think Phil Clark's probably pulled the plug on the Warrington Wi-Fi due to my disgust at that forward pass not being given.
I can't see who's down here.
Injured. Who's this injured?
I think it could be Mamo. I'm not sure.
Is it what's happened here? Is this just a collision or a high tackle?
I'm not sure, mate. We'll probably see it again now. But Darrell Clark, obviously, I think his night's done. He's gone off. He's a really bad blow to the head. Looks like Mamo. It could be, from here. I don't know.
Is it Danny Walker?
Well, he's only just come on, Danny Walker. So
is it Danny Walker?
Looks like Mamo to me.
Or Conor Wrench.
Here we go. We're going to see it now. So ball coming across. Or is this the try? Oh no, this is the try. So
it's Mamo.
No, it is Mamo. Yeah, it's Mamo. Mamo's had a great game, and like I say, I think the concern for Warrington in this game now, as we've got 20 minutes to go, is that two of the tries have been full length of the field interceptions from Mamo, and you take those two out, it's a very, very tight game. So the score really. Oh no, it's not. It's Thewlis. So it's Thewlis. So that's
not Mamo who's injured, mate. I think it's Danny Walker.
No, that's Thewlis.
It's Thewlis. Yeah,
it's Thewlis. So it's Josh Thewlis.
Yeah. So that's that's Rashford to full back and possibly Jack Hughes to stand off.
Or they might put Curry in the centres, put Mamo at full back.
That's a good shout as well. But
it's all right, I think.
Yeah, two of our tries. Mate, but two Wigan tries have been off the back of some very dodgy refereeing decisions.
Well, there's 20 minutes to go. Here we go. Warrington back with the ball.
Dodgy refereeing decisions.
Yeah.
That's a crusher. So that should be a penalty.
Well, he's not give it. So here comes Chris Hill. Chris Hill down the middle. Takes it in.
Yeah, I said plenary committee will be looking at that on on Tuesday. And
I mean that's got to be called back to. That's got to be called a set restart there. Chris Hill clearly being held in the tackle. Should have been a set restart and wasn't.
I don't think there's been a set restart this game.
Oh, I think that's hit the player. So this will not be wiped clean. This needs to. Was that a knock on?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It looks a little knock on that from Fewless, but they've got away with it. Warrington, fifth and last. Here we go. Back inside it comes. Austin, big booming kick downfield. Yes, he has. He's turned Hastings. That's a great kick. As long as it stays in play, and it will. That is a phenomenal kick.
That's a great kick from Austin.
As Wigan give it air again, wide it comes, and they're going to. Yeah, Marshall is well marshalled. There's one point.
That was very
there you
good.
go, hey, Marshall is well marshalled. You like that, don't you?
Very good.
In we go. In we go.
Like
Warrington now.
That's
big
great
set this.
From Wyatt.
Warrington hunting a mistake here. Wigan trying to come out their own 10-metre line as Hastings takes it in. Philbin, Curry, wrapping him up. I think that's Danny Walker in there as well.
Only Warrington had a Sam Powell that could knock the ball out and get a knock on.
Well, that's controversial.
That would be superb, wouldn't it?
That's controversial. We've got a few more now joining us. And in he comes. So Warrington, it's a good setup from Warrington. They've kept Wigan
it is
inside their own 40-metre line, and now Fewless will bring it back for Warrington. He's asking for help here. No, he's going to take it himself. Tries to go a little gap, but Farrell and Gildart wrapping him up.
Yeah, and that's brave for the lad. He's just took a bad knock.
Yeah,
bravery from the lad there.
I mean, Wigan fans will be delighted to see Gildart back, won't they?
He's a good player. He's a good player. Let's hope he makes a go of it in the NRL. Let's really hope he makes a go of it.
Yeah, Tigers, West Tigers next year, of course.
Yeah, let's hope he does a good job. His dad was a good player. His dad was a great player for Wigan.
He's been a good servant for Wigan as well, Gildart.
Yeah,
he's been a good player for Wigan. Oh, Pierce Paul there, just taking a little knock, and Danny Walker.
Yeah, Danny Walker doing what Darryl Clark does best.
Bit of headbutting going on
and what
there.
Darryl Clark hasn't been doing for a while. He's not taking the defence on like that for a while, Darryl Clark.
Yeah, Darryl Clark. Oh, that's poor from Warrington. That's lazy.
Yeah.
That's late, but well done, Chris Hill. That is phenomenal.
And I think we need to go for a cheeky drop goal again.
Oh, hang on. They're still coming in here, Warrington. This is, I think it's fifth. Has he always, hang on. Is he set restart? Set restart, I think. Yes, he has. So Warrington here, big chance for Warrington. Big chance here now for Warrington.
That's the first one of the game.
In it comes to Hughes, and Hughes goes in. Oh, go on there, lads. Go on. Jack Hughes, the Warrington captain. That is a massive try. 28 points to 14 to the Warrington Wolves. 63 minutes gone. Ooh, take a bow, Jack Hughes.
Good try. Remember, sir, we've got to try being as neutral as Phil Clark is in these situations.
I know. But which way we cut it, this is Warrington Wigan. This isn't Tiddlywinks. Exactly. It ain't a game of chess. It's rugby league. That's what it is. It's rugby league. Oh, hey, up the mother-in-law's on. Mother-in-law's watching. Hey, up the mother-in-law. Hey, oh.
Is she?
Yeah, the mother-in-law's just tuned in. Happy days.
Wow. Where have you been all game?
Well, actually, I think they're in Norfolk, mate. You know, the country bumpkins. They're down in Norfolk. You know, having a good time.
Do they have Wiki in Norfolk?
Well, they must do. They must do, and they've decided nothing better. Obviously, the telly's bad tonight because she's decided to tune in today.
You might not get Sky down there then.
Yeah, absolutely. You've done us a good time. 28-14 Warrington lead. It's probably the father-in-law as well, Robert. Good evening, sir.
Evening, sir.
28-14.
Rob and Pauline, good to have you on board.
Always. 28 points to 14. Ratchford kick here to go 30 points to 14 up. Well, I have to say, Jack Hughes there. And I have to, credit. Yes, Jack Hughes went in. Thought that leg drive from Chris Hill, phenomenal.
Superb. As we've said over the last few weeks, taking the captaincy off him has been the best thing that's happened to Chris Hill this season. He's been superb. He's been a great player this season.
When he got that ball, he was stationary. He was stationary. He had to first of all get some momentum going, but then the leg drive was exceptional.
And it's great to see fans in there. Great to see fans back in the grounds. And I think he's missed that. We need these kicks, Steph. We need these kicks. Huh?
The wife's watching. The wife's watching. What's going on? The family's joining us. What's going on? I'm in here, honestly. I am. I'm still in the house. I'm not going anywhere.
They're watching you.
Right, here we go.
I frightened myself.
Oh, good Lord. Right, Chris Hill, in he comes again. Yes, you're right.
Again, another good run.
Chris Hill, mate, it's been immense. Chris Hill's been immense.
Yeah.
This season. Absolutely immense.
Yeah.
I can't, testimonial year. Warrington fans, last couple of seasons, we haven't seen the best of him, it's fair to say, but this year he's a man reborn. Unbelievable. Anyway, Danny Walker, gives it some air, finds Ratchford. Ratchford now back inside to Jack Hughes. Third tackle for Warrington. Shorrocks is in there. Partington's in there. But yes, Warrington coming to Wigan. And, this will be Warrington's 6th consecutive win. So, after that Challenge Cup disappointment against Castleford, Warrington certainly in Super League are certainly in good form, aren't they?
They are, and it just makes you wonder about that semi-final defeat. What went wrong there?
Don't know.
Because
I think you've just got to, sometimes, mate, as well. You've just got to, and this is something that we do. Oh, big mistake! Big mistake from Marshall. Warrington have just forced Marshall to knock on here. Danny Walker, about 15 metres out. Warrington got a chance to kill the game here. This is absolutely a pivotal moment in the game. 65 minutes gone. Warrington, full set of 6 inside the 20-metre line. Yeah. Can they go in? Curry, now at the 10-metre line.
Curry's had a quiet game tonight. He's been quite quiet, Curry.
He has had a quiet game. But that was poor from Marshall. And now here we go. Chris Hill again, taking it in the middle. Again, leg drive.
Again, a great leg drive.
Picked up another 2 or 3 metres there, Chris Hill.
Yeah, and that's another set.
Oh, Danny Walker going from dummy half. Danny Walker. Ooh.
And he
come up short. He
was very close. He was very close. Oh, and he's knocked it on.
Play. Oh, no.
He's knocked
That's a bad play of the ball. And he said so.
Yeah, and going back to that semi-final, probably I did a disservice to Castleford there. They were superb on the day.
You were.
And quite possibly didn't let us play. Did the homework.
No.
And, it bodes well for next season. Dowell Powell, I'm not saying anything against Steve Price. Dowell Powell, obviously good at doing his homework.
Yeah.
Knew how to shut us down. So, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, no.
But yes, if we do win this one, 6 on the bounce. But remember, last season, was it? We were with 7, 8 on the bounce, and then it kind of all went wrong. So, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No. Look, at the end of the day, you go week for week. We're coming up to the halfway point of the season. We're not. Nobody's getting carried away. But Warrington and Warrington, I think from an attacking point of view, clearly the Super League's top point scorers. But and again, I tell you what's interesting. I mean, and again, when you consider how way up, bit of a facial.
Oh, what's happened there?
Warrington. Not sure who that was for Warrington that went down there. The
it's Connor Wrench, I think.
Connor Wrench. Referee's gone play on.
Oh, well done. That's clever play from Thewlis. He threw it back.
Yeah,
that's very clever from Thewlis.
Yeah, but
very clever rugby.
It is an interesting one for you though. If you remember, Wigan got off to an absolute flyer in the first few weeks. They put. I remember they played Wakefield. Did they play Wakefield? They absolutely put Wakefield to the sword, as I recall, early doors in the season. But coming into this game, 10 rounds into Super League, 172 points. Warrington, that's half of what Warrington have scored this season. That's got to be concerning for a Wigan Warriors supporter.
Yeah, and they've played first few games. We were thinking Wigan are a force this season. I think we even said that after week 3. I think we said that. Yeah, they had that shock against Leigh. First game of the season, things like that happen.
Yeah,
and they won. They came back, and we felt, well, this is Wigan kicking in.
Yeah,
but the performances have been very un-Wigan-like since week 4, 5.
I mean,
I'm sure Wigan fans will want to comment on that, but
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Very un-Wigan-like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we know that St. Helens' defence this season is just ridiculous. They've only conceded 76 points, St. Helens, which is absolutely ridiculous at this stage of the season. I think everybody would say that. But you take St. Helens out of the equation. Catalan, the second best defence with 148 points, and then it's Wigan at 168. So and you expect that from a Wigan side. You expect Wigan to be good in defence. But I mean, here's one for you, right? Here's one for you. Huddersfield Giants 168 points. Wigan have scored only 4 more points than the Huddersfield Giants this season. Now, at the
and
start,
Huddersfield were awful for the first few weeks.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, Wakefield. Yeah. I mean, Wakefield Trinity. Wakefield Trinity. For all the grief that Chris Chesters has got this season, 219 points they've scored.
Yeah.
This season, yes, all right, they've conceded 275, and we know that good defense. Defense wins games. We know that, especially in big games like this. The stronger your defense, the better. But I mean, those statistics, especially when you consider for the first 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, in fact, I'm going to have a quick look at that actually whilst we're watching this, because that's really now sparked my curiosity. That now really has. So I'm just going to have a quick look. Talk us through it, Greg. While I'm just having a quick look at it.
We're gonna try the best to spread the ball about. Warrington's defence is holding firm. That was Gildart who went in there as a second number 6 and a fullback at this moment in time to try and get Wigan back into it. Again, solid defence, and a kick through from Smith as a crafty little bounce. But again, Thewlis, who has let absolutely nobody down tonight, is the victim of a high tackle there. And yes, I think the referee has given it. Yes, he has. Again, one of those where he's going down and it's a swinging arm, but play protection these days. Oh, it's a bad swinging arm. That's a bad one.
So here we go.
Sorry, O'Neill. Sorry, go on.
After 5 games, right? So Wigan were 5 from 5. And at that point, they'd scored 111 points.
Okay, yeah. Was it really 5 from 5? 5
from 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just going to have a look now in terms of the week that followed that, because I think they actually went. It was right up until the Catalan game, wasn't it? Catalan was the first team to knock them over this season. I'm having a look now. So no, it's still 5 from 5 on that one. So 5 from 5, 111 points. So in the first 5 games, 111 points. Obviously, since then, quite a few less, and 111 points. Wigan side, you expect more even in 5 games really than 111.
So where's the problem been? Is it obviously the maybe the forwards aren't quite laying the platform that they should be doing?
Don't know. I'd love a Wigan fan to tell us, mate.
This is what we need. We need this interaction.
Yeah, because you look at it, because at that point, St. Helens at round 5, St. Helens had only scored 128. 111 Wigan, 105 Hull FC. And so you look at that, you think, well, at that point they're absolutely in and around it. And then you look at the
Conor Wrench. This is a great from Conor Wrench.
I seal the game for Warrington Wolves, ladies and gentlemen. 32 points to 14.
Man of the match.
Conor Wrench
is the seal man of the match.
Set up. Yeah, so well done.
It's got to be man of the match.
Yeah. Apologies. I mean, obviously, I've got one eye off the game here because I'm really.
No,
really
mate. It's a good job I made that, isn't it? But like you think, Warrington are highest scorers in the league, and they've had a shocking, apparently a shocking start to the season.
Yeah.
And yet they're top of the point scorers. And yet Wigan, who were being lauded as potential grand final winners by anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Their points is poor for a Wigan team. You're right. It is. If I was a Wigan fan, I would be a little bit concerned, and maybe that this is where the unhappiness with Adrian Lamb is coming from.
Well played.
Conor Wrench. Conor Wrench is man of the match.
Conor Wrench there.
Yeah.
Conor Wrench tonight. The young man put in
man of the match, I would say.
And he's had a wow of a game. In fact, both centres, Wrench and Mamo. I think it's fair to say Wrench and Mamo have been the match winners for Warrington in the centres without question.
Yeah, and I would if I was Chris Hill's decided he's not bothered anymore. But if I were a Sky pundit, Conor Wrench for an 18, 19-year-old kid against Wigan, he's man of the match by a million miles.
He's played well, mate. He's played well. And when you consider, they're going head to head with 2 experienced centres in ICA.
Gildart,
Gildart,
Gildart and ICA.
No mean feat. And to be fair, they both stood up brilliantly well. Daz Clark with that head knock early doors, right? Just having a quick look now.
That begs the question: Will he be fit for Monday when we play Leeds?
Possibly.
If he's failed his head assessment.
just to let you know, and again, this is ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. So the Betfair Player of the Match has just opened up on our league, and he's not even in contention.
Go on, Memo.
Not even in contention.
Really?
Blake Austin, Mike Cooper, which you just think, honestly, Jake Mamo and Stefan Ratchford, of those I'd have to go with Mamo. But yeah, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, again, you just, it's like that Liam Watts, Albert Goldthorpe 3 points. It's just like, what? Whoa.
As I've said from day one, they don't watch the game. They have names in their head that they go with continually, and they don't watch the game and how the game pans out, and that they can't see beyond. They don't seem to be able to see beyond certain names that they have in their head. These pundits, and it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous.
Warrington are sensing blood here.
They are.
Absolutely coming again. Here it comes. Walker. Good step out from Walker. They're coming to the right hand side. Blake Austin. There's that famous step. It's a cut-out ball. It's well taken from
and Marshall. That's a great defence.
Yeah, Marshall.
Great defence from Warrington.
Yeah, from Wigan. Yeah, Marshall there. To be fair, that was a big moment for him. He needed that one without question.
Yeah, it's a shame that if that had come off, that would have been a great try. But what have Warrington got to lose? The game's won. We got the ball back.
Mamo's in
Mamo again. Well,
Mamo is in for a hat trick.
Well, I think Mamo's just got out of the match.
Yeah, Jake Mamo, just for everybody's, just for those who are interested, that is Mamo's 10th Super League try of the season. Jake Mamo is now well and truly 2 behind Ryan Hall. He's had a wow of a game. Massive hat trick from Jake Mamo. 10 tries now for Mamo. Curry has gone to 8 tonight. So Ben Curry taking his try scoring up to 8. But yeah, Jake Mamo, the second highest try scorer. He's done
beautiful.
Well.
Do you know what? I think as much as I would love Connor Edge to get man of the match,
it's Jake Mamo.
I think Mamo's just snatched it from him.
Jake Mamo, absolutely
He's just snatched
phenomenal.
it from him.
I'm going to say it again. Castleford, Huddersfield fans, you know who you are. The ones that went on social media saying Jake Mamo, really? Well, I'm saying really. Warrington Wolves could do a lot worse than to sign him up for next season. He's on absolutely phenomenal form.
And I'm saying to Daryl Powell, because I know you're watching, Daryl, you need to get onto the phone. You need to get on the phone to that board of Warrington directors and say, sign this kid up for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
give him a new contract.
What's Phil Lofthouse's view? What's John Hiscock's view? You're all there. You're all watching. Come on, give us your view. What's your thoughts on Jake Mamo tonight? Bang your comments.
He's just been, oh dear.
Yeah, do you know what though? I have to say, just going back to football for a moment, that camera that shot there of the Wigan supporter. I don't know if you saw the ITV news at 10 last night. It was inspired from him. They were basically showing highlights from the England-Germany game, and at full time, and of course somebody's dubbing over it, and it started to show Germany supporters in Germany somewhere. And he turned around and said, I know we shouldn't watch this and gloat. Well, maybe for a little bit longer, at least until some Germans throw the hats on the floor. I was absolutely belly laughing at that. You've got to give it. Right.
Yeah.
Why Wigan have done a short kick-off here, but they have.
And Mamo's offside. Yes, he's never going to get away with that.
No, never going to get away with that.
I was a little bit delicate this morning after that football match last night. I fear I may well be a little bit delicate tomorrow morning after this rugby league game tonight.
Yeah, well, exactly. 40 points to 40. I have to say,
Farrell's still trying his best. The guy's a Wigan legend, isn't he? He's still trying his best to get him back into that. That guy will never give up until at the hooter.
No. I have to say, and I go back to what I was saying, Mamo has scored. I think I'm right in thinking that all Mamo's tries have been converted, I think. So that's 18 points. And you think two are all the way down the field of play. Then, of course, that interception there. So you take those points off, it's 22 points, isn't it? these Wigan youngsters, Wigan tonight as a team, they haven't played that badly. 40 points to 14. It sounds an absolute drubbing, but actually, it hasn't been. I think Wigan.
And this guy, Keith Paul, he's somebody. I'd like to see him score a try.
Yeah, he deserves a try.
I'd like to see him score because he's been superb. He's been Wigan's man of the match. That guy.
I agree. I think Pierce Paul tonight. For those who didn't know,
he should get the man of the match in the ground, and I'd like Wigan fans to get in touch and tell us about him.
Yeah, he looks a good player. On this performance,
he looks a very, very good player.
He really does.
Yeah, well, and if he's gonna sit in for Bateman for the next few weeks, then fair play to the lad. I think Mamo's just got man of the match with that tackle. Yes,
Mamo
has just sealed it with that tackle, hasn't he?
He's had a great game. So Warrington are going to be leaving the DW Stadium tonight with a 2 points, another 40 points. I think, and I'm just going to check it now. I think that takes Warrington very close to the 400. Let's just take.
I think it does.
Takes Warrington to 392 points. So Warrington, Catalan Dragons as well. Well, actually, when you think about it, that's unbelievable. The closest to Warrington at the moment looks like it is going to end now. So Warrington end this game on 392 points scored. The closest to them is the Catalan Dragons on 284. That's unbelievable strike from Warrington.
That's 100. That's over 100 points clear. Now that is an expected win, but a better win than I expected. I thought Wigan would have been better than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking at our predictions. We all come away with 2 points from that one.
I said 8-17, I think, didn't I? 9-17.
9-17, yeah. I said 0-8. I saw it a lot closer than it actually was. Adrian Lamb must be sitting there thinking, what's going on? I feel for Adrian Lamb. I do. I know as a Wigan, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hold any candles to Wigan at all, but I feel for Adrian Lamb. I think the way in which his contract is being played out in the media, I don't think that's altogether right, if I'm being honest. And this is the thing about being there, a bit of an enigma, really, because incredible what they're doing for Don Manfred. They're going to look after him, of course they will. And
of course, yeah. And rightly so. He's been, the poor guy's had a career blighted and eventually cut short by injury when he had the potential to be one of the greats. And it's a shame.
It is a shame.
It's sad for the guy. Sad for the guy.
But you've got to say, you're going to look after Don Manfredi. But Adrian Lamb, bit of player, bit of coach. He was seconds away from the Super League win last year. Obviously, they won the Leaders' Shield, and I don't know. I just think I'm disappointed in Wigan at the moment. What's going on in the media? What's actually happening? Just doesn't sit well with me. I have to say.
No.
Doesn't sit well with me at all.
No. And. And all this talk about Sean Wayne. Sean Wayne is the England coach. There should be no discussion about Sean Wayne taking over a club next season. No. He's the England coach. Well, and that's where it is.
Well, here's one for you. If the World Cup doesn't go ahead, what then?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Sean Wayne wants to coach England through a World Cup. So if it's delayed by 12 months, what's going to happen then? Because for me, you can't have an England coach that's in a dual role managing the Wigan Warriors. You can't have that.
But it happened for a while with Tony Smith in Warrington, England, and he soon realised it didn't work. Well, Steve Price is out of work at the end of the season, so
Well, yeah, but your impartiality goes out. Not that Sean Wayne isn't partial. I'll be honest. Here's one for you. Who's going to be the captain in the World Cup? Is it going to be Sam Tompkins? Personally, I don't think it should be.
No, but it will be. It will be. It will be.
So all interesting. But no, big win that for Warrington. Warrington will be delighted coming away from Wigan with a 40 points to 14 win. It bodes well.
That is a great win, and let's hope we can back it up with a win against Leeds on Monday. And Jake Mamo has got.
Let's listen to Jake.
Well, it couldn't be anybody else. I think Conor Wrench ran him very, very close. We're going to listen.
Let's have a listen.
It sounds interesting.
Difficult game. I suppose we made it hard for ourselves, but very good fun. I think there's a big changes this team recently, and it started with we've got a good group of friends here, and it started with we've got a little group. It started as a bit of a joke, and they call us the PRC. There's four of us. There's myself, Tommy Lynham, Matt Davish, Joe Philbin, Toby King, no doubt. Bobby Mulhern is a new recruit. So it started as a bit of a joke. People call us the positive reinforcement crew, which
What is he talking about?
the entire team. And since then, we've got people actually trying to join our group, but it's quite a rigorous process to join our group. There's an application form.
He's a genius.
We've got to agree on who's the member. So there's a couple of boys that really want to get involved. So yeah, that's what we think the change is.
I'm interested in who wants to get involved.
Sorry.
Who wants to get involved?
Everyone, especially our trainer, Chris Bubble Barron. He's one of the people that really wants to.
He's a genius. He's obviously, in his world, he's making perfect sense.
Look forward to hearing the outcome there. Listen, at the start of the season, you told your coach that you wanted to play at centre. You played 13 games this season in that position. Are you happy with your performances so far?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose I probably moved around a fair bit the last 3 years. Like I said to him just there, Pricey, that I wanted to make my spot. I got the chance through a few injuries, I think, and probably got to keep it through a few injuries. And since then, yeah, just really enjoyed it. And I think running off the back of people like Tom Lynham, we saw him today. I think he probably deserves this more than I. I probably stood out on the edge there and didn't do much for a while. I got a couple of lucky bounces, but Tom absolutely killed it tonight. So I'd probably give this to him.
Well, you said
Fair play to the lad.
I've got to ask you.
Fair play to the lad.
Headlines, your contract's up at the end of the year. Where do you see yourself playing in 2022?
Where do I see myself? I don't think I can say just yet, but
So there's been a decision made then.
there might have been a decision made. We'll wait and see if anyone wants to announce it anytime soon. So yeah, we'll wait and see.
Well, we wait.
Oh, I hope it's Warrington.
I know, congratulations.
Just one more thing. I want to say hi to my mum and my nan, my sister, her two daughters, everyone at home. Haven't been home for 2 years now, so really missing them. I think they're watching. They try and get up at 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning and watch every game. So I miss them all. I love you, and I can't wait to see you soon.
Brilliant.
Good on
Fair
Jay
play
Mamo.
to the guy.
Fully deserved.
Fair play to the
Man of the
guy.
match.
Yeah.
Right, here comes. Well, we'll wait for Steve Price to come on. I think Jay Mamo probably took up a bit more time than Sky were expecting there with his positive mental attitude club.
Well, that was obviously it made sense in his world. I'll have to go on away and work that one out. But
yeah.
Do you think he's been offered a new contract at Warrington, judging by that?
Well, look, I mean, there's no question his form this season, as we're looking at the league table now, Warrington very firmly in third, Wigan dropping down now to a win percentage of 63.64%. That's not great.
Have you noticed they've stopped putting the points on because the points are more that they've stopped doing that, Sky, because they know it causes controversy. Here's John Wells.
I'm just going to put my light on because my light is fading, so it won't be a second.
Here's John Wells, and sir, let there be light.
Let there be light. You can probably see me now. Hello.
Yeah,
that's better. That's better. But yeah, no, I mean, Jake Mamo. I mean, there's no question. You know, the Warrington surely on his form. There's no question he deserves a new contract. There's no question.
Of course he does.
Without
no question at all.
Yeah.
No question at all. But any team that gets him, as I said, is going to get a player who's 100% committed.
Yeah.
Who will play any position in the back line and will score not only tries, but will score important tries and will turn games as he's done for us this season. And I'd sincerely hope that he's in the Primrose and Blue of Warrington next year. I really do.
Well,
I'll be really, really sorry to see him go. I really will. Yeah.
No, I mean I don't disagree with you. I think that, you know, like I say, he's now the joint second highest try scorer in Super League. I mean that's incredible to see. Yeah. So unbelievable.
Yeah. So a good night and
yeah, absolutely.
What more can we say? But a great win for Warrington.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hang on for Pricey and see what happens there.
I don't know whether they're going to go to Pricey, to be honest. I think they've already.
I think they probably are.
No, right, we're to John Wells, so I don't think they're going to talk to Pricey.
I'm sure they will, mate. I'm sure they will. So yeah, Leeds now for Warrington, and Saint for Wigan. I mean, if you're a Wigan fan, dearie me,
if you're a Wigan fan, you are in fear of that fixture, aren't you?
You are worried at that. For me, without question. I'm just going to see if we can get some comments in before we go off. Now, then, are we going to get Steve Price? We're just going
I don't know.
We're going to have to wait and see. I'm sure he's.
My phone is rapidly going to die, sir. So
here he is, Steve Price.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
In the history of Super League, how does that sound?
Oh wow, yeah, it's an interesting stat, isn't it? Yeah, it was a great team performance. I thought we could have went up 24-0. In that first half, with Steph, with the drop ball over the try line, and I thought defensively, we were outstanding. Inside our 30-metre zone. They started, to change the momentum with that second stanza there, and we hung tough and scored some, really good tries in the end. So yeah, really pleased with you.
What would you say, or what would you put those nervous moments down to?
They changed the energy battles, and they started dominating field position off the back of Harry Smith's kicking game. So we hung tough there, and we turned it around, which was pleasing.
Jake Memo was the player of the match tonight. He's playing at centre.
There we go.
Season in that position. I know we had a conversation with you at the start of the year. How would you say he's going at centre? Do you feel like he's taking that opportunity with both hands?
Yeah, certainly. The most pleasing thing is defending really strong over on that right edge. So that's great. He's competing hard and he's got speed. So yeah, he's a great guy to coach, Jake, and I'm just really pleased for him.
Well, I'm pleased for you because it's your very first win as head coach of Warrington here at the DW.
Well, there's do you know what?
We'll bring in Adrian.
I didn't know that.
We'll listen to Lam. I didn't know that. We'll listen to Adi Lam.
Wigan's fourth straight defeat. Are there alarm bells?
There's always alarm bells when you're not winning. But just a weird game tonight. I thought we were there physically and in all the little effort areas. I thought we were as good as we've been, and we're close. I know the score
they played well.
Reflect that tonight, but in all the other areas, I think we're close. It feels that a lot's going against us at the moment. So we're just going to stay positive.
You've mentioned a lack in confidence of late. What do you feel this result tonight will do?
No, I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think there's a lot of positives to take out of the game. Again, I know people are going to talk about the scoreboard, but we're close to where we want to be.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people out of position playing.
I'm not so sure. I think he's giving the bluff. I think they're a long way from where he wants them to be. I do seriously think that.
Used to playing, so
I mean, I'll watch that in a bit. But do you know what? I've got sympathy for him there. Like I say, you look at Mamo. Mamo's done 2 full length of the fields and then that interception. That's 18 points. You take the 18 points off, that's 22-14. Wigan were not a million miles away there. And just after the second half, when they scored that try, they were right bang in that game. So
the one thing that summed that Wigan performance up for me and showed that they are not right is the run through by Burn.
Burn.
No ran support. Through.
Yeah.
Everybody stopped. Every Wigan player stopped. Warrington players stopped. In times gone by, that he would have been through and he'd have scored. And nobody backed him up. They all stood. It was like he went into slow motion. And that, for me, sums up the Wigan performance, mate. It was, I think the scoreline flattered them. I know you say that we had 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions from the drop goal. I think the scoreline flattered. Yeah, I think, I do. Seriously. Seriously. Where do you think we should have been 24-0 up and Ratchford dropped the ball? Mate, no. It's
yeah. I take it back.
Honestly.
I take your point.
Back.
I take your point.
Flattered us. It didn't flatter us. It flattered them. That forward pass. Yeah, the forward pass that was given as a knock on.
Yeah, but mate, that was no. Do you know what? I've got no. That was for me. Warrington deserved, without question, that win without doubt. Warrington were a country mile. They were the better team. However, I do think that Wigan were competitive in that game. That was not a.
It competed.
You can
That-
look at
that's-
a 40
It
points. to
competed. I'm
14.
not saying they didn't compete,
You
but
can look at
I
a
think
40
it was a
points
little
to
bit
14
flattering.
scoreline. You know, people who haven't watched that game, they'll look at 40 points to 14, and they will consider that a little bit of a drubbing, maybe.
It was, but
against
it could have been worse for them, mate. It could have been a lot worse.
Well, I think
And that's all I'll say. And we'll
that's
agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree.
harsh. But I'll tell you what is absolutely vitally important now is the way they go against St. Helens on Sunday night.
Yeah,
And, you know, that now, I mean, I'll be honest, and again, I can't believe I'm about to say this. And I can't believe I'm about to say this. But if they lose and lose badly to St. Helens, then Adrian Lamb could be in trouble.
I think he's in trouble now.
He looks beaten.
I think in that interview when he said we're not a million miles away, Adrian, you're not a million miles away. You are 10 million miles away.
I'd say,
and I think he's sweating. And if the rumours about Sean Wayne are true,
he's going to be livid over that. He's going to be livid over that. And do you know what? He's got every right to be livid over that, because this isn't this isn't like Steve Price coming out for Warrington and saying I'm moving on, and then of course Dal Powell did exactly the same. I'm moving on, and of course that, you know, what happens. You know, this is a guy who is in situ. He's got no ambitions to well, from the outside looking in, I don't think he would want to go anywhere else. I think he'd want to continue at Wigan. The silence is deafening. The silence from the club is deafening. Obviously, Sean Wayne is hovering. You know, and I feel for the guy. I genuinely do feel for the guy.
You feel for any coach. You feel for anybody who is under threat for the loss of their job. Yeah. You feel for anybody, in no matter what walk of life it's in.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's not a. But unfortunately, that's the nature of sport.
I mean, I'd love to know what Steve Anderson's view is. Steve's just joined us post-match to have a look. Debbie Blackburn as well. You know, what was your view on the game? You know, by all means, just type away in the comments. Let us know. It'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are on it. But like I said, I do genuinely feel for Adrian Lamb, and I think that
he seems a decent guy. He seems a genuinely decent guy, Adrian Lamb.
He's got a big task. He's got a big task on his hands now to lift that team between now and Sunday. It's a relatively quick turnaround.
And you know, given the spirit of Wigan, they could go out there and they could win that. But I just can't see it. I just can't see it, mate.
Mate, St. Helens fans will be sharpening their knives tonight.
Yeah.
They will be looking at that, especially the body language at the end, the way Lamb's talking. Like I say, during the game, they were going up to the boxes. You know, I'm a great believer in the eyes, mate. You look in people's eyes and you get a sense for what's going on. And you know,
100%.
Doesn't look right. And the Saints, I mean, God, nothing would give Saints fans greater pleasure, would they, than putting 50, 60 points past Wigan. And
no.
You know, stranger things have happened there.
Yeah, and like I say, you know, the Wigan of old getting beat by Warrington, and I thought, right, we've got Saints next. No way are we going to lose. Yeah. But as we've said, this isn't the Wigan of old. This is not, and that's worrying for Wigan fans. And you know, part of me would be quite pleased if they went out and proved me wrong. I'm a Warrington fan through and through, as you probably guessed. But if they went out and proved me wrong on Monday, I'd think, well, good on you. Well done, you. But and that's not meant in a patronising way, but I just can't see them beating Saints. I'm sorry. I just can't.
I think the Bevan French, I mean, obviously Bevan French was out early doors this season. He's now out, rumour has it, for the season, gone. But I tell you, that's interesting. He's extended his own contract, hasn't he? You don't see that often. So they obviously gave him an option, and he said,
well, maybe Mamo can do that.
I mean, if Jay Mamo does move on from Warrington, I think after a display like that, if it is Castleford, if it is Huddersfield,
getting a great player. He's
a team lad, and he's a versatile player. He can play wing, centre, fullback. Obviously, mad as a boxer frog, clearly. But yeah, a good lad to have in your ranks without without question. But do you know what, mate?
Yeah.
Based on his form,
Yes.
based on how much he would probably cost on a salary cap, I'd be
Side
surprised.
him up.
I'd be surprised
Side
if
him up.
Warrington haven't said, you know what, we're going to keep you on. Be very,
Yeah.
very surprised. Right, that's 10 o'clock or very, very nearly.
Yes.
We've been on for 2.5 hours.
I'm going to have to go
Always
because my phone is about to die.
Yeah, we will be back.
I apologise for the Wi-Fi problems tonight, but we shall be back next week, sir.
We will be back at our usual slot next Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock. Super League.
Provided England aren't in the Euros.
Oh, is the semi that night?
Semi-final, sir.
No, but if it's the semi-final that night, we might need to defer for 24 hours, which actually, based on the fact that game, that is there a game next Thursday night?
Yes.
We'll keep you posted on the fans forum page. But anyway,
I'm sure there will be.
We've had a lot.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We've had a lot of people tonight on. We decided to do Facebook tonight because it was a joint one. I'm going to post the whole video on our YouTube channel after. And I have to say, a lot of people tonight have been tuning in on Facebook, which is really, really good to see.
Thank you, guys.
Might be something that we do again in the future.
Yeah,
but
why not?
For tonight, that's us done. So enjoy your rugby league. There's a lot of rugby league coming your way. Just very, very quickly. Yes. Let me just, as we do, quickly go through that. Obviously, the NRL is back with tomorrow, Thursday, Sydney Roosters taking on the Melbourne Storm at 10-11. On Friday,
that'll be a great game.
Penrith Panthers without Nathan Cleary taking on the Parramatta Eels at 5-11. And then on Saturday morning, the Canberra Raiders.
Another great game.
Taking on the Gold Coast Titans, the Canberra Raiders. And then, of course, in terms of Super League itself, the next TV game, I believe, is the one between St Helens and the Wigan Warriors on Sunday. And that, of course, is followed on Monday by Warrington and Leeds. So NRL taking you all the way to Sunday and then back to Super League. Enjoy your rugby league. We will see you next Wednesday if Warrington.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
In the World Cup. And we'll see you again. Take care, Greg. Always enjoy
you, guys.
Bye for now. Boom.
And you, sir. See you soon, mate. Have fun.
See you later, pal. Ta-ra, mate.
Mate, have you stopped recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, see you later.
Have I? I don't know if I have.